Hello, everybody, and welcome to Doug Fritz Field here on the campus of Saddleback College. We have game number 3 of this series between the Santa Ana Dons and the Saddleback Bobcats. I'm Noah Alvarez, joined by Albert Robles. Thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. It's a chilly Saturday afternoon here in the city of Mission Viejo as we're excited for this Orange Empire Conference matchup between two of the top teams in the state of California. The visiting Dons enter with a 23-6-1 record and are 7-4 in the Orange Empire Conference, while Saddleback is 19-10 overall, and they have a similar record in the conference, 7-4, currently a four-way tie for first place in the Orange Empire Conference as we're just about ready for the first pitch. That misses inside. On the mound for the host Bobcats is Jack Wade. He's a lefty freshman, standing at 6'1", attended Mission Viejo High School right down the street as he's down in the count 1-0. This one's in there for a strike. 1-1 the count to Thomas Williams. He'll be playing second. In the 2 spot will be Riker Billingsley, the left fielder. And in the 3 spot for the Santa Ana Dons will be Jimmy Leanda, the center fielder. Here's the 1-1 to Thomas Williams, who bats from the right side against the lefty. He's a switch hitter. A sophomore from Ocean View High School. Played very sparingly last year. Dons are led by 9th-year head coach Tom Nils. Saddleback led by 13th-year head coach Summer McCartney. Here's the 1-2. This one's fouled off out of play to the right side, past the bullpen, and we'll do it again, 1-2. Again, it's a great day for baseball on this Saturday afternoon here in the city of Mission Viejo. Both the Bobcats and the Dons are tied at 7-4 in the Orange Empire Conference. This one misses up and away, 2-2 the count. So the winner of this game wouldn't have sole possession of first place because there's a lot more variables as both Golden West and Orange Coast College are also tied at 7-4. We'll keep you updated on the scores from throughout the Orange Empire Conference today, as here's the 2-2 from Wade. Misses in the dirt. Good discipline there by Williams to lay off. It's a full count now to the second baseman. Doing a nice job in the leadoff spot, seeing a lot of pitches. Just what you want if you're head coach Tom Nils. Here's the full count from Wade. This one fouled back right off the pole, and we'll do it again once more, 3-2. This will now be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Williams is a tough out for the Dons, especially in the leadoff position, hitting .354 on the season in 27 starts for the Dons. This one misses outside, and it's ball 4. So Thomas Williams draws a leadoff walk. He's aboard on first, and that'll bring up the number 2 hitter, playing left field, and batting from the left side, Riker Billingsley. Again, we're just now on our way here at Doug Fritz Field. Here in the top of the first, Dons now have a runner on first. Nobody out. Lefty on lefty matchup. Jack Wade from the stretch. Billingsley shows bunt. Couldn't see if he pulled it back or not, but it's a strike regardless. 0-1 the count to the left fielder. The Dons have played musical chairs in left field. They've used a number of different players. Riker Billingsley splitting time with Jake Long. We've also seen a few other players play left field like Keon Sanchez or Carson Case. Here's the 0-1. It misses inside and a low. 1-1 the count. Billingsley on the season hitting .300. He's only started 7 games for the Dons, has 6 hits and 20 ABs. So plays very sparingly, getting the start today in game number 3 of this 3-game series between the Saddleback Bobcats and the Santa Ana Dons. This one catches the outer half, good spot. 1-2 the count now to the left fielder. On deck, center fielder Jimmy Leanda. Nobody out here in the top of the first. 10th ranked Saddleback versus number 1 ranked Santa Ana. Things could change in the next rankings after Santa Ana dropped the first 2 games of this series. This one misses outside, 2-2 the count. The Dons lost game number 1 on Tuesday by a score of 9-3. then lost Thursday by a score of 9-8. That was in comeback fashion, as the Bobcats trailed 8-2. However, were able to come up with 7 runs in the final 5 innings. Here's the 2-2. This one also misses in the dirt. So Wade looking for that put-out pitch to both batters now and hasn't been able to find it. He now runs the count full to back-to-back hitters. 3-2 to the 2-hitter. Nobody out here in the top of the first. Again, thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on sportsnetusa.net. Runner on first. Nobody out. Wade, here's the 3-2. This one, oh, catches the outer half, says home plate umpire, and it's strike out. Out number 1 of the inning, as Billingsley will head back to the dugout. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Jimmy De Anda. Here's the first pitch from the lefty to De Anda, 1 out. Runner on first still is Thomas Williams. Now there's a step off and a throw over to first. Williams back in plenty of time. This one foul tipped into the glove, and it's strike number 1. Let's go ahead and get you the starting defense for your host Bobcats, as it's Matthew Deutsch behind the plate catching Jack Wade, who's on the mound. At third, it's J.C. Allen. At short, Andrew Nicoluk. We'll get you the rest of the infield after this pitch from Wade. It's a pickoff move over to first. Still a 1-0 count. 0-1 count, excuse me. 1 out, runner on first. At second, it's Ben Castelli. And at first, Jacob Hudson. This one misses up. 1-1 the count. Top of the first inning here at Doug Fritz Field. A rematch of last year's state final. Both teams advanced to the 3C2A state championship last year. Both won their first game, as this one's fouled off out of play. 1-2 the count now to De Anda, the center fielder. Both went on to win the first game. The Bobcats beat Sierra College, while the Dons defeated Folsom Lake. They played each other for the first time. However, the Dons came out victorious, thus sending the Bobcats to an elimination game between Folsom Lake. They defeated Folsom Lake. And this one's hit up the middle to Nicoluk. He's going to toss it over to second for 1. On to first, not in time. Wow, about 8 of the infielders or fielders for the Bobcats started jogging in. However, first base umpire says De Anda was safe. So rule it a fielder's choice, 6-4 on the putout. Williams is retired for out number 2. Change on the call. So De Anda's safe aboard first. Let's get you the outfield for the Bobcats today, as it'll be Jacob Bouchain in left, Connie Tanaka in center, as we await the first pitch to Mikey Rocha. De Anda's going to go to second. He already has 2 stolen bases on the series, and this time he's caught stealing. So caught stealing to end the inning, as the Dons do get a runner on. However, Jacob Hudson will be playing first base and batting 7th. In the 8th spot will be Bryson Hoyer playing right field. And batting in the 9th spot, Andrew Nicoluk playing shortstop. Again, thanks for tuning in to Bobcats Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. On the mound for the visiting Dons, as they're in their black uniforms, gray pants, it'll be Jackson Andeal, big sophomore left-hander from Orange Lutheran High School. Was a key part in last year's state title run, as for most of the season, he was a number 3 starter, but then emerged as the number 2 as they shifted some things around in the postseason. Haas Fragoso, who's still in the team's roster, he's now a bullpen pitcher primarily. He emerged as the team's number 1 starter in the postseason. Agneal will go in games number 2, and then they will kind of flip back and forth for that game number 3 starter. A lot of depth here in the Santa Ana bullpen. A lot of players returning. As I mentioned, Haas Fragoso and Jackson Andeal. We'll get you rest of the starting defensive lineup for the visiting Santa Ana Dons. So due up first for the Bobcats, it'll be another lefty-on-lefty matchup. It'll be Ben Castelli as he grounds this one over to the right side. Rocha can have no problem with it as he steps on the bag for the first out. 3 unassisted if you're keeping score at home. And that's out number 1. On the season, Jackson Andeal, one of the hardest pitchers to hit off of in the 3C2A. Currently, opponent batters are only hitting 136 against him. He's pitched in 44, now 2/3 of an inning. Has only given up 20 hits, 19 runs, 17 which were earned as this one runs inside to Tanaka. Tanaka 3 for 7 in the series thus far. Here's the 1-0 from Andeal to Tanaka. 2 left-handers in the top of the order for the Bobcats. Again, they won the first 2 games of the series. One game won by a score of 9-3. Then in comeback fashion, won game 2 by a score of 9-8. They scored that 9th and go-ahead run in the top of the 9th inning. That game was at Don Sneddon Field over on Santa Ana College. The count now is 2-1 in favor of the center fielder. He leads the team in batting average this season. He's a sophomore from Honolulu, Hawaii. 2-1 the count. Tanaka hitting .410 on the season. This one swung on and missed. I don't think Deach was even able to get a glove on that one. That'll run the count full now. It's actually a 3-2 count. So full count to the center fielder, Tanaka. On deck, third baseman, J.C. Allen. Tanaka batting from the left side. Here's the full count pitch. Ooh, this one misses down and in. It's a base on balls drawn by Makani Tanaka. So he's aboard on first. He is a threat to run. He has 10 stolen bases on the season, 10 of 11 in stolen base attempts. So the Dons will have to keep a close eye on him. Now that'll bring up the 3-hitter and someone who's had a very strong series, as it's J.C. Allen. He's 5 for 9 in the series, 5 RBIs from that 3 spot as he waves at this off-speed pitch. It's now an 0-1 count to the third baseman. Allen hitting .350 on the season. Has an impressive 10 home runs and 48 RBIs through 29 games. As there's a throw over to first, but back in there is Tanaka. 0-1 the count to the number 3 hitter. Tanaka aboard on first via the walk. He has a pretty big lead over there, but doesn't go on this pitch. This one's fouled out of play to the right side. We'll do it again. 0-2 now. It was in the win on Tuesday in which J.C. Allen went 4 for 5 as he fouls this one off his foot, it looks like. Allen had a great day on Tuesday, 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs. Can't do much better than that in their 9-3 victory over the Dons back on Tuesday. That was game number 1. That was here at Doug Fritz Field. Here's the 0-2 once more. No, it's a throw over to first. Tanaka back in there, sliding head first. The Bobcats haven't scored in the first inning in either game this series. Looking to capitalize on getting a runner on with 1 out as this one misses high and away. 1-2 the count now. And Deal on the mound. Big left-hander. Sophomore from Orange Lutheran High School. Wearing number 45. Pitches from the third base side of the rubber. Comes set. Tanaka's going to go. He got him in a rundown. Rocha throws over to second. Throw is a little wide, but he's out. So the tag applied down by Thomas Williams. It looked like the throw was to Williams' left. That throw was coming from Rocha. I thought Tanaka got in safely. However, umpire over there that was right in position to make that call calls him out. So score that 1-3-4, and this one catches the inner half. That's strike 3. So 2 quick outs here as the Bobcats were able to get a runner aboard first. However, they caught Tanaka in a rundown, and on the very next pitch, they sit J.C. Allen down looking. So the Bobcats only get 3 batters up to the plate, just like the Dons do in the top half of the inning. We now transition to the top of the second. Still a scoreless game here on SportsNetUSA.net. I'm Noah Alvarez, joined by Albert Robles. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Again, this is a rematch of last year's 3C2A state championship. The Dons were the number 4 seed on the bracket in the southern region, as the Bobcats earned a number 2 seed. They finished the regular season 29-10, and which was good enough. They finished with a conference record of 15-6, which was good enough for a split of the Orange Empire Conference title along with Riverside City College. That was good enough for a number 2 seed. Both teams had very different paths to the 3C2A finals, as the Dons defeated the likes of College of the Desert, Santa Barbara City College, Cypress College, and Fullerton College. So they defeated 2 Orange Empire Conference teams to get to the 3C2A finals, while Saddleback defeated the likes of Long Beach City, Glendale College, El Camino, and College of the Canyons to advance to the state tournament. Both these teams returned a handful of players, both in the lineup and in the bullpen, that were freshmen last year, impact freshmen. A couple players we've already mentioned. J.C. Allen started plenty of games for the Bobcats last year. He's the starting third baseman this year and has been on a tear, hitting 10 home runs, 48 RBIs. However, he was set down looking to end the bottom of the first. Now we'll see Jack Wade again here in the top of the second, facing another impact sophomore that was on the team last year for the Dons, Mikey Rocha. Playing first base for a majority of this season. However, he played most of his games last year at shortstop, so very versatile infielder. He played shortstop last year primarily due to an injury, as his first one misses wide. 1-0 the count. Here's the 1-0 to Rocha. This one runs in and nearly hits him as he has to back out of the way. 2-0 the count. Rocha leading the Dons team in batting average, hitting .377 on the year. Has 3 home runs to go along with 29 RBIs. Looks like there's an issue with the pitch comm. So one of the coaches for the Bobcats going to tinker with it with catcher Matthew Deutsch. Again, still a scoreless ball game here in the top of the second. Nobody out, nobody on. Looks like Deutsch is all ready to go. Deutsch is a 5'9" freshman from Capistrano Valley High School. This one misses down and away. It's now a 3-0 count to the number 4 hitter. On deck for the Dons, Matthew Dobson, the third baseman. And in the hole, Keon Sanchez, the DH. Here's the 3-0. This one catches the zone. It's now a 3-1 count. This is the 5th start of the season for Jack Wade. He's made 10 other appearances for the Bobcats. Has this one. No, catches the outer half, says home plate umpire. It's now a full count, 3-2. Rocha took a couple steps towards first, thinking it was ball 4. Wade has a win-loss record of 3-1, has an ERA of 2.45, has only given up 22 hits in 30 innings pitched. Here's the full count pitch. This one fouled back and out of play. We'll do it again once more, 3-2. Wade has only allowed 8 earned runs on the season. Has struck out 39 batters in those 30 innings and only given up 10 walks. Opponent batters are only hitting .208 against the left-hander. Again, a freshman from Mission Viejo High School. He comes set. Here's the 3-2. This one's poked out into right field, but looks like it's going to be no problem for Bryson Hoyer as he camps under it for out number 1. So 1 out in the inning, and that'll bring up the 3rd baseman, Matthew Dobson, another player for the Dons that made impact moments or had impact moments in the postseason last year as a freshman. The Dons and Tom Nils electing to go with all 3 sophomores in order. Deonda at 3, Rocha at 4, who we just saw, and Dobson batting in the 5 spot. So they have their 3 best hitters and their 3 most experienced hitters all back-to-back-to-back in the lineup now. Deonda was primarily batting in the leadoff spot for the first 15 games of the season or so. Here's Wade's 0-1. This one misses in the dirt. 1-1 the count. Still a scoreless game here in the top of the 2nd. Game number 3 of this 3-game series between the Santa Ana Dons and the Saddleback Bobcats. Again, a beautiful day here in the ballpark. 2-1 the count now from Wade to Dobson. Wade pitching from the 3rd base side of the rubber. This one missed. No, catches the inner half. A late strike call there, but it's a 2-2 count now to Dobson. Let's see what the freshman can do here on 2-2. This one, ooh, misses the inner half. Looked like Deutsch tried to frame that as well. However, it popped out of his glove. 3-2 the count. As I mentioned, this is Wade's 4th start on the season for the Bobcats. He's also pitched in relief 6 other appearances for the team this year. Here's the full count pitch. This nearly hits Dobson, and so he's rewarded first base. What they base on ball is a 2nd walk thrown or given out by Jack Wade on the afternoon. So a runner on first and 1 out in the inning. And that'll bring up Keon Sanchez. He's a freshman infielder from Canyon Crest, playing DH today, or doing the DHing today for the Dons. Dobson, not really a big threat to run. Has average speed over there at first. Small lead. This one hit into left field, but going to be right to the left fielder. So retreating back to first will be Dobson. It's out number 2. Catch was made by Jacob Bouchain. So now to bring up the number 7 hitter playing right field today. It's Carson Case wearing number 5 and batting from the left side. Connor Deach on deck. The Dons are able to keep the inning alive. 2 outs, runner on first. This one misses in the dirt. Going to second now is Dobson. The throw's not going to be in time as that throw was high and wide to the right. So score that a wild pitch because I don't think Dobson was going on the pitch. He saw the ball in the dirt and decided to take second. Deutsch did a nice job of keeping the ball in front of him. However, the throw, had it been more on line and down below the knees, they might have been able to get the runner out at second. Here's the 1-0 to Case. This one catches the outer half. It's now a 1-1 count to the right fielder. Case is a sophomore from Foothill High School, teammates with the Dons ace of the year, Brady Schrank. A grade apart, as they both attended Foothill High School, played for the Knights. Runner on second, 1-1 count. The breaking ball that gets past the first baseman, and Dobson's going to come in to score. Throw's going to be cut off by the first baseman, so it's an RBI single with 2 outs for Carson Case. Did a nice job of keeping his weight back on that off-speed pitch from Wade. He was able to get it through the 3-4 hole, and it plates the first run of the game as Dobson comes in to score. Again, he was on second base due to the wild pitch. Came around to score with 2 outs in the inning. And that'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Connor Deach, the catcher wearing number 18, a big 6'3" sophomore from Mission Viejo High School. The Dons have also used a platoon of catchers this year. We've seen a lot of Abel Castrojon and Isaac Fernandez as well. But Deach getting the start today in his hometown. Played at Mission Viejo High School down the street. Small lead as he swings through that pitch. Looks like he went early on that one. 0-1 the count to the catcher. Wade in his last start against College of the Sequoias went 6 innings. Only gave up 3 hits, no runs, and struck out 9 batters while issuing 1 walk. This one, ooh, at the knees, says home plate umpire. It's now an 0-2 count to the catcher. Oh-2 count to the catcher. Runner on first, 2 outs. This one misses. Nice job of Deutsch to get a glove on that one and prevent it from going to the backstop. Wade's last start against an OEC team was against Fullerton College back on March 22nd. He went 5 innings, only gave up 3 hits and 1 earned run, and picked up the win for the Bobcats. They took 2 out of 3 from the Fullerton Hornets. This one swung on and missed, maybe a little bit outside, but Deach had to protect as he goes down swinging for out number 3. But the Dons are able to push 1 across as they now have a 1-0 lead here as we move to the bottom of the second. Thanks to tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. The Bobcats, entering with a record of 19-10, are led by 13th year head coach Summer Deutsch. Advanced all the way to the 3C 2A state championship last year after splitting the OEC title with Riverside City College. However, came up short. They had to face the Dons twice, and they ran out of pitchers or pitching depth in their bullpen. And that led the Dons to coming out victorious in the 3C 2A game. Again, thanks for tuning in. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon here at Doug Fritz Ballpark. In the regular season, these teams played back in the week of March 13th. The Dons lost 2 of 3 in the regular season to the Bobcats. The Bobcats took game number 1 by a score of 11-4. That was back on Monday, March 13th. On Thursday, March 16th last year, the Dons came out victorious by a score of 11-6. And then they lost in the rubber match Friday, March 17th last year by a score of 6-3. So the Bobcats won the regular season series 2-3. However, the Dons came out victorious in the 2 games that mattered in the postseason, defeating Saddleback 13-4, and then for the second game, their extra game, because the Bobcats were coming from the loser bracket, they defeated the Bobcats by a score of 21-8. As I mentioned, they just ran out of pitching, the Bobcats did. Tough to do so in a tournament like that. They had to play 4 games in 1 weekend. And both these teams tied at 7-4. It's a 4-way tie currently with Golden West and Orange Coast College. Let's go ahead and check in and see if there's a score update from those games as we're here in the bottom of the second. And thanks for tuning into Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. Golden West and Cypress College facing off today. Game number 3 of that series, as Cypress Chargers have lost both the first 2 games. They're scoreless in the bottom of the second. This one is in there for a strike. 0-1 to Jacob Bouchain, the left fielder. Irvine Valley has a 2-0 lead over Riverside City College. That game is in the top of the third. This one misses down. 1-1 the count to the number 4 hitter. And Fullerton has an early 5-0 lead over Orange Coast College. That game's still in the top of the second. This one misses down as well. Again, the Orange Empire Conference, the best baseball conference in the 3C2A. A conference that sent 6 teams to the postseason last year. This one's hit up in the air, but not very far, as Williams will go behind second in the outfield grass for out number 1. So Williams records the first out. Let's get you the defense for the Dons, as it'll be Connor Deach behind the plate, Jackson and Deal on the mound, as we've already mentioned him a few times. Dobson over there at third, Christian Altamirano at short, Thomas Williams at second, and Mikey Rocha at first. Here's the first pitch to the number 5 hitter. He pops this one up over on the right side. Is there enough room? Rocha's going to take a peek, and that hits the top of the dugout. So 0-1 the count to Matthew Deutsch, the catcher for the Bobcats today. They've also used a few different catchers on the season. Deutsch hitting .264 in 21 starts for the Bobcats this year. This one fouled off out of play to the right side. It's now an 0-2 count to the catcher. And Deal doing a nice job of getting ahead of the batters he's faced thus far early on. He bounces this one, though, as it goes off the chest plate of Deach. 1-2 the count. Deutsch played the DH spot in Thursday's win over the Dons. 9-8 was the final score. This one's poked out to Dobson. Dobson going to his left, makes a strong throw over to first in time for out number 2. So nice solid defense there by the Dons. They haven't been able to play successful defense for much of this series. They committed 5 errors in the first 2 games of the series. That really came back and bite them as they've dropped the first 2 games. Bobcats up 2-0 on the series. Dons hoping to avoid the sweep. Here's the first pitch to the number 6 hitter, Jake Tyler, who's doing the DHing today. This one misses very wide. 1-0 the count. Bobcats trail 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. This one catches the outer half. Tyler came in to pinch hit for Andrew Nicoluk in Thursday's victory. Went 2 for 3. He was also able to hit a home run, a solo shot. So Tyler's had a pretty productive series thus far for the Bobcats, as this one also catches the zone. 1-2 the count. 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the second. Here's the 1-2 from Andeal. This one swung on and missed. Tyler not able to make contact, and that's out number 3. So the Bobcats go down in order. 1, 2, 3. We transition to the top of the top of the third. Thinking a little too far ahead there, as due up for the Dons will be 9-1-2. Again, thanks for tuning to Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. Noah Alvarez joined by Albert Robles. It's another beautiful day for baseball here on this Saturday afternoon. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Nice to see a good turnout here at Doug Fritz Field. A beautiful ballpark placed at on the campus of in Saddleback College, which lies in the city Lies in the city of Mission Viejo. You have a nice look of the Saddleback Mountains and the mountain range over there past right field. You get to see some other mountains. It's a nice partly cloudy day. Blue skies, no rain in the forecast as it did sprinkle quite a bit in Orange County I don't want to say last night, but in the morning of yesterday. But no rain in the forecast here as the Bobcats look to complete the sweep of the Santa Ana Dons. Hard thing to do here in the tough and very competitive Orange Empire Conference. The Bobcats thus far, they began their Orange Empire Conference season with a series against Riverside City. They took 2 of 3 from the Tigers, however lost 2 of 3 to Orange Coast, who's currently tied for first with them at 7-4. Then they took 2 of 3 from a very talented Fullerton team. They had a week off due to the spring break scheduling of the Orange Empire Conference, but in that week they traveled to College of the Sequoias and had a 3-game series. They took 2 of 3 from the College of the Sequoias, which is over in the city of Visalia, if you're familiar with the Central Valley, about 45 minutes to an hour away from Fresno. And now here they take on Santa Ana Dons. Won the first 2 games, 9-3 on Tuesday, 9-8 on Thursday. After today, they'll take on Golden West next week, Cypress the week after, and finish off the season with a 3-game set against Irvine Valley as Altamirano pokes this to the right side. Castelli charges it and throws it over to first in time, 4-3 on the first pitch. A nice, efficient first out for pitcher Jack Wade. That'll bring up the leadoff hitter now again, Thomas Williams. He drew a base on balls and was out at second on the fielder's choice. 1 out here in the top of the third. Again, thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. Breaking ball misses inside. Williams had to scoot out of the way of that one. 1-0 the count. A sophomore from Ocean View taking over the leadoff spot. First 18 games or so, it was Jimmy De Anda who was batting traditionally in that leadoff spot, as this one's in there as well. One and 1 the count. This one hit right up the middle, skips off the mound. Castelli's going to get a glove on it, but not going to be able to make a strong enough throw to get out the speedy second baseman. Nice effort there, but it's an infield single. Castelli had to go a long ways. Hit pretty softly, but it picked up speed as it kind of used that mound as a ramp. Castelli ranged about 8 or so steps to his right. Gloved it and made a strong throw, but it took 3 hops over to first. So Williams is aboard again. A 1-out single, and that'll bring up Riker Billingsley. Breaking ball misses inside. Tried to front door the left fielder. He struck out looking in his first AB. Next pitch will be number 44 for Jack Wade. Williams has good speed at first, however has a small lead over there with the lefty on the mound. This one misses outside, 2-0 the count. Williams, 6 for 8 in stolen base attempts this season. Here's the 2-0. This one fouled back, out of play. 2-1 the count to Billingsley. Billingsley on the season hitting .300. Has only started 7 games for the Dons this year. Has recorded 21 ABs. Here's the 2-1 to the left fielder. This one misses up. 3-1 the count. On deck is the number 3 hitter, Jimmy De Anda. This one swung on and missed. Looked like it caught the chest plate of Matthew Deutsch. We'll do it again now. Full count, 1 out. We'll see if they decide to send that runner. Billingsley getting his first start of the series. In game number 1, they decided to start Jake Long. Robert Linares came in to pinch hit for him late in the game. And then in game number 2, they decided to start Matthew Dobson at left field. Jake Long came in halfway through that game and played the remainder of the game as Dobson switched over to third. Billingsley foul tips this one into the glove. Deutsch is able to hang on. That's the second strikeout of Billingsley. Second out of the inning. It's the third strikeout by Jack Wade in his outing thus far. And now there's 2 outs, so runner still on first, and that'll bring up Jimmy Leanda. Leanda grounded into a fielder's choice and then was caught stealing to end the top of the first. This one, misses the zone. 1-0 the count to the center fielder. Third on the Santa Ana team in batting average, hitting .358 on the season. However, he leads in a lot of other categories. Leads with 6 home runs, leads with 36 RBIs, as this one catches the outer half. 1-1 the count. He also leads the team with 41 runs scored. He also leads the team with 8 stolen bases on the year, so the sophomore center fielder who primarily played a lot of left field as a freshman last year, having a big impact on the Dons' success offensively this season. This one misses down. He's 4 for 9 on the series thus far. He has 4 runs scored, 1 RBI, and 2 stolen bases. Getting grounded out into a fielder's choice back in the top of the first. Runner on first, 2 outs here in the top of the third. This one fouled out of play to the right side. Moves the count now to 2-2. On deck, if the Dons are able to keep the inning alive, is Mikey Rocha. Due up for the Bobcats in the bottom half of the inning will be 7, 8, 9. Jacob Hudson will lead things off, the first baseman. Two count, long look in for Jack Wade. Small lead over there by Williams. He's going to go. This one hit on the ground, and it gets past the shortstop, Nicoluk. Hard churn over there at second, but Williams is going to stay put over there at second. So nice piece of hitting there by Leanda. The runner advances to second. Runners on first and second with 2 outs still. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Mikey Rocha. He flew out to right field to kick off the second inning. He's a sophomore from East Lake High School, which is located over in the Chula Vista area, as there's going to be a mound visit. Again, thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. Let's look to see if there's any score updates from the games around the Orange Empire Conference. As I mentioned, and I'll continue to mention throughout the broadcast today, both these teams tied at 7-4. There's currently a 4-way tie between Orange Coast, Golden West, Santa Ana, and Saddleback, as all those 4 teams have a 7-4 record entering today. Golden West taking on Cypress, and they currently trail 4-0 in the top of the third. Irvine Valley has a 2-0 lead over Riverside City College. Fullerton has a 5-0 lead over Orange Coast. So both teams that are tied with these 2 teams in Golden West and Orange Coast down big early. The winner of this game could have sole possession of first place heading into next week's series. Here's the first pitch to Mikey Rocha. Runners on first and second, 2 outs here in the top of the third. This one misses in the dirt. 1-0 the count. Wade has struggled to get a first pitch strike to a lot of these hitters here of the Dons. Wade comes set. This one catches the inner half. 1-1 the count now to the first baseman. On deck, third baseman Matthew Dobson if the Dons are able to keep the inning alive. Williams has good speed at second. Second baseman Castelli holding him on. Ooh, nice backdoor breaking ball there by Wade. It's now a 1-2 count in favor of the left-hander. Started that one outside the zone, but it broke into the outer half. A well-located pitch there. 1-2 the count. Down that first, Williams at second. Rocha at the plate. Wade, here's the 1-2 pitch. Ooh, checked his swing. Thought that might have caught the outer half. Wade thought so too. It's now a 2-2 count. Two outs, two runners on, 2-2 count. This one in the dirt. It's now a full count. So with two outs, expect the runners to be going on the pitch. Rocha has worked the count full in both his ABs now. Again, still the top of the third. Dons have an early 1-0 lead here. Both teams tied at 7-4 in Orange Empire Conference play. Here's Wade, comes set. Runners do take off on the pitch. This one catches the inner half, and Rocha goes down looking. So going down looking with runners on first and second, Wade does a nice job of battling back and retiring the side without letting any runs across here in the top of the third. We transition to the bottom of the third. Due up will be 7, 8, 9 for the Bobcats. It'll be Jacob Hudson, Bryson Hoyer, and Andrew Nicoluk. Due up for the Bobcats. Again, my name is Noah Alvarez, joined by Albert Robles today on the broadcast. Again, thanks for tuning in, wherever you may be tuning in from. An exciting matchup today we have for you guys. It's a rematch of the 3C2A state championship last year. The Dons got their first state championship since 1996. That was back when Don Sneddon was still the head coach of the program. The legendary head coach now has the field at Santa Ana College named after him. Saddleback last won a championship in 2006. Summer McCartney was coaching at Aliso Niguel High School before taking the head coach position here back in 2011. He's in his 13th year with the program. Led his team to a share of the Orange Empire Conference title last year. And not an easy thing to do. It's a very tough and competitive conference. A conference that's won they won the last three champions in the 3C2A. It was Santa Ana College last year, Riverside City College the year before. There wasn't a championship in the 2020 or 2021 seasons. However, if you go back to 2019, it was Orange Coast College that came out victorious in that one. They've won 6 of the last 9 state champions, so it's really no argument here. It's been one of the best conferences, if not the best conference for baseball here in the 3C2A. As this first pitch misses to Hudson. 1-0 the count. And Deal still on the mound. Very efficient, only using 25 pitches thus far. This one misses as well. 2-0. And Deal is prone to walking a lot of hitters. He's given up 29 walks in 43 innings pitched. Something I'm sure he's working on to keep down as this one's popped up, foul out of play on the right side. 2-1 the count. One to nothing is the score here in the bottom of the third. Don's looking to avoid the sweep. This one catches the lower half. It's now a 2-2 count. Here's the 2-2 from Andeal. This one misses. It looked like an off-speed pitch that misses in the dirt. 3-2 now the count to the first baseman on deck. the right fielder, Bryson Hoyer. Center fielder playing about 8 steps towards right center, as this one misses the bottom right quadrant. And so it's a base on balls drawn by Jake Hudson. So it's a second walk issued, and as I mentioned, that's something that Andeal is prone to. He's given up now 31 walks and 46 innings pitched. Does have 49 strikeouts in those 46 innings pitched. Looks like Hoyer's going to lay down a bunt. This one hits him. So instead of him giving himself up for an out and advancing the runner, he takes one off the leg, I believe. And it's now runners on first and second with nobody out. That's the third hit by pitch third hit batter that Andeal has hit this season. So now it's going to force Tom Nils to take a long stroll over there to the mound. Due up is the shortstop, Andrew Nicoluk. On the season, hitting .352. Has started 27 games for the Bobcats this year. Has 14 RBIs and has a good chance to pick up 1, maybe 2 more if he's able to find a gap. One to nothing is the score here in the bottom of the third. And Deal still on the mound, but in a little bit of trouble. Nobody out. 2 runners on. Long conversation being had between Nils and Deal, Deach, and the rest of the infield. So it looks like the mound visit is done. Hudson over there at second, Hoyer over there at first, Nicoluk at the plate. And Deal has only thrown 30 pitches thus far in the contest. Here's the big pitch, as this one is a bunt, but it goes foul, as Nicoluk wasn't able to square that one up cleanly. 0-1 the count to the shortstop. He has 2 sacrifice bunts on the season thus far. Here's the 0-1 showing bunt once again. This one, could have rolled foul, but Deach picked it up. And he makes a strong throw over to first in time. So he does a job there, advances the runners over. Hudson now at third, Hoyer at second. That one looked like if Deach had waited just a second longer, it might have rolled foul down the third base line. And that'll bring up the number 1 hitter, Ben Castelli. 1 out in the inning, 2 runners in scoring position for the Bobcats. Their best opportunity thus far to push some runs across. They trail 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. This one's in the zone, but it squeezes away from Deach's glove. Not very far, though, so the runner will stay put. Hudson's over there at third, Hoyer at second. It's an 0-1 count to Castelli. Here's the 0-1. This one, a breaking ball, misses wide. 1-1 the count. On deck, Makani Tanaka. Costello hitting .342 on the season. Has only 13 RBIs, but has a chance to pick up 2 more if he's able to find the outfield grass. Checked his swing on that one, and it was a good idea for him to do so, as it's now a 2-1 count. This one hit into center. Leanda right there for it. He's going to back up. 1 run will score. He makes a strong throw over to third, but it's cut off. So Hudson will score from third. Hoyer will move over to third on the sac fly. Get a nice job there by Castelli to at least do a job and drive a run in. So 2 outs now in the inning. Runner still on third. It's now a tie game. Bobcats are tied with the Dons 1-1. That'll bring up the left-handed hitting center fielder, Makani Tanaka. Tanaka drew a base on balls back in the bottom of the first. Was caught stealing. Well, he was picked off, actually. And he already committed to second, so Rocha made a strong throw over to Thomas Williams, who applied the tag for the second out of the bottom of the first. First pitch misses wide, 1-0 the count. Breaking ball, ooh, and a well-placed one there by Andil. It's a 1-1 count to the center fielder. 2 outs, runner on third. This one, a check swing by Tanaka. They're going to say he didn't go around, so it's now a 2-1 count. Deonda shaded about 3 steps over to right center, while Billingsley shaded about 3 or so steps towards left center. This one poked towards the left side. A lot of room over there. As I mentioned, Billingsley shaded towards left center. However, that one's going to fall foul. We'll do it again, 2-2. This will be the 40th pitch of the outing for Andil. Andil comes set, runner on third, small lead over there. Here's the 2-2 to Tanaka, off-speed pitch in the dirt. Nice work there by Deach. Deach, a very reliable defensive catcher. They do have first base open if they decide to be very careful with Tanaka. However, there's a more dangerous hitter on deck in J.C. Allen. 3-2, 2 outs. Runner on third. This one misses outside, so Tanaka draws his second walk of the afternoon. And now there's first and third for the Bobcats, and arguably the best hitter here in the Bobcats lineup is J.C. Allen. He has 48 RBIs on the season, 10 home runs, slugging percentage of .667. Came up with 4 RBIs in their win on Tuesday, went 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs, 5 for 9 in the series. So a chance to pick up 1, maybe 2 more. Tanaka flinched like he was going to go. This one hit down the line past Dobson, and it's going to go all the way to the wall in foul territory. Tanaka going to round third. He's being waved on home, and not a very good throw by Billingsley as Tanaka's able to score from first. Billingsley put a lot of air under that one, as the cutoff man, Dobson, didn't really have much of a chance to get the runner out at home. Going to second is J.C. Allen, so it's a 2 RBI double for the third baseman. So a little 2-out rally here for the Bobcats. They now lead 3-1. Again, a 2 RBI double by J.C. Allen. He now has 7 RBIs on the series. This one misses in the dirt. Allen's going to stay put over there at second as the left fielder Jake Bouchane watches this one miss. He's a freshman from Capistrano Valley Christian High School. This one also misses in the dirt, so it looks like the control and the success that Andil had in the first 2 innings has deserted him here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Still a chance to get out of this inning without letting it snowfall. They trail 3-1. Dons do. Runner on second, 2 outs. This one also misses in the dirt, so 3 straight pitches in the dirt. Looks like they're working very carefully around Bouchane. Bouchane had a home run in the 9-3 victory back on Tuesday, April 2nd. It was a solo shot. Here's the 3-0. This one catches the zone. Squirts away from Deach, but he's able to rally it quickly. Here's the 3-1 from Andil. This one swung on and missed. Looks like Bouchane was early on that one, maybe an off-speed pitch. This next pitch will be number 50 on the outing for Jackson Andil. 3-2 count. To the left fielder on deck is the catcher, Matthew Deutsch. Here's the pitch from Andeal. This one misses way inside, and it's an easy take. That's the third walk issued on the inning. And so now runners on first and second. Before this inning, Don's pitcher Jackson Andeal entered the inning with only 24 pitches thrown. He's now at 51, so really laboring through this bottom of the third. Still has a chance to minimize the damage and keep it at 3. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Here's Deutsch. He pops this one up in play. It's going to be the first baseman, Rocha, who camps under it. Ooh, that was a little scary there by the first baseman, but it's out number 3. So the Bobcats are able to send 8 batters to the plate and plate 3 runs here in the bottom of the third. They now have a 3-1 lead. It was an inning that started with a walk by Jacob Hudson. Then Hoyer, who tried to give himself up on a bunt, was hit by a pitch. So there was runners on first and second. Then Nicoluk, the shortstop, dropped a sacrifice bunt. So there was 2 runners on third and second with 1 out of the inning. Castelli hit a sac fly over to right center that was able to score Hudson. Hoyer moved over to third. And then it was J.C. Allen who hit a very nice double down the line that scored both Tanaka and Hoyer. Tanaka came all the way to score from first as he was on first via the base on balls that he drew. And then the very next batter, Bouchain, was able to draw a walk. There was runners on first and second with 2 outs. However, Andeal was able to get Deutsch to pop up to the first base side. So that is how the Bobcats scored 3 runs in the bottom of the third. They now have a 3-1 lead here on SportsNetUSA.net. Yeah, thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Game number 3 of this series. Bobcats looking to finish the sweep. Not an easy thing to do, especially against here, the #1 ranked team in the state of California. A team who came off an impressive run in the 3C 2A playoffs last year, winning the state title. As you get the final pitches and a throw down from Deutsch. That'll bring up the third baseman, Matthew Dobson, a sophomore from Capistrano Valley High School. So elected to come to Santa Ana College rather than Saddleback College, which was down the street from his high school. Here's the first pitch. Ooh, and it's another backdoor breaking ball, but this one misses, says home plate umpire. So it's a 1-0 count. Wade currently at 60 pitches now after that first pitch to Dobson. They lead 3-1. This one misses wide. 2-0 the count. Both lefties struggling in Andeal and Wade to get first pitch strikes to opposing batters. Deutsch set up outside. This one fouled off out of play. 2-1 the count. Deutsch behind the plate. It's Hudson over there at first. Castelli at second. Nicoluk at short. And J.C. Allen at third base. We'll get you the outfield after this pitch for the Bobcats. This one misses up as well. 3-1 the count. In the outfield today is Bouchain in left, Tanaka in center, and in right field is Bryson Hoyer. That's your defense starting 9 for the Bobcats. They lead 3-1 here in the top of the fourth. Wade currently trails 3-1 and walks Dobson. It's the second walk that Dobson has drawn. And that'll bring up the DH, Keon Sanchez. He's a freshman from Canyon Crest High School. The Dons have used a lot of different DHs this season. Both Keon Sanchez and Robert Linares splitting time there. Sanchez has gotten 14 starts on the season, hitting .333, and there's that nice backdoor breaking ball by Wade as he gets ahead of the hitter. 0-1 the count. Sanchez flew out to left back in the top of the second. Here's some activity going on in the Dons bullpen over there on the right side. Dobson has a small lead at first. Wade comes set. This one foul tipped. Out of play. 0-2 now the count to the DH. Sanchez has 18 hits and 55 ABs. Good enough for an average of 331. Here's the 0-2. This one foul tipped again, and it's going to roll just foul as Deutsch picks it up. So Sanchez battling here, down 2 strikes. Runner on first. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th. Bobcats lead 3-1 here on sportsnetusa.net. Nice to see a good turnout here at Doug Fritz Field. Beautiful ballpark here, located on the campus of Saddleback College. Both teams tied at 7-4. It's a 4-way tie currently for first place in the Orange Empire Conference. Dobson inching out a little further over there from first. This one foul tipped once again. Going to that off-speed pitch, however, Wade hasn't been able to put Sanchez away just yet. Center fielder Tanaka shaded about 3 steps over towards right center. This one misses up. It's a 1-2 count now to Sanchez. Easy take for him there. That one was up by his chin. Nobody out. Runner on first for the Dons here in the top of the 4th. Dons have an overall record of 23-6-1. Bobcats 19-10. This one hit into the air softly again into left field. It's going to be Bouchain shielding with his glove the sun away as he's able to camp under it for out number 1. That'll bring up the right fielder, Carson Case. The left-handed hitting right fielder. Here's the first pitch to Carson Case. As they're actually going to throw over to first. Dobson had a small lead over there, so doesn't need a slide to get back safely. Wade comes set, kicks and deals. This one catches the outer half. It's an 0-1 count to the right fielder. He had an RBI single to the right side back in the top of the 2nd. That drove in Matthew Dobson. Dobson was at second that time due to a wild pitch. This one foul tipped out of play. 0-2 now the count. On deck, Connor Deach barring a double play ball. Dobson over there at first. Dons trail 3-1. Wade still on the mound for the Bobcats. They're going to throw over. Dobson. Ooh, that was a close play as Wade had to step off, throw over to first, and it was a good throw, good spot. Hudson applied the tag. However, first base umpire says he was safe. 0-2 the count to Carson Case. Ooh, this one runs in on side on him as he had to back out of the way on that one. 1-2 the count. And thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on sportsnetusa.net. One out here in the top of the 4th. Long pause here by Wade. This one hit over to the left side and it's going to pass J.C. Allen. Dobson's going to turn, go and advance to third. Here's the throw. It's not going to be in time. Advancing to second and being in there safely is Case. So it's a double for Case. Dobson took the risk and went all the way to third. Not the strongest of throws from Bouchain. However, there's now runners on second and third for Connor Deach, the catcher. The left-hander just poked it down the third base line. I think Allen was playing about 3 steps over to his left. Looks like the corners are going to be in now. J.C. Allen and Hudson in on the edge of the grass. The middle infield will concede the run if it's a ball hit up the middle. Deach struck out swinging in his first AB back in the top of the second. And as he swings through this one, 0-1 the count. A very good defensive catcher, but Deach has had his struggles at the plate this season. Hitting 154. Has only 6 hits in 40 ABs. Has a chance to pick up a couple RBIs here with 1 out in the top of the 4th. Bobcats lead 3-1. Swung on and missed again. These are just challenge fastballs that Deach can't catch up with. Nice piece of pitching here by Jack Wade. He does have a dangerous hitter on deck in Christian Altamirano, the shortstop. Let's see what Wade does here. Up 0-2 on the catcher. Long pause, long look in from Jack Wade. This one fouled back, out of play. 0-2 the count remains. We do have some score updates from around the Orange Empire Conference. Golden West is now on the board. Cypress still has a 4-1 lead. That game is in the bottom of the 4th. Irvine Valley has a 2-0 lead over Riverside City College, while Fullerton still has a 5-0 lead over Orange Coast. That game is in the top of the 4th. Here's the 0-2 once again, from Wade to Deach. That one skips away from Deutsch. However, Dobson's going to have to stay put. Deach and Deutsch. Tough names to say back-to-back. Interesting names for the catchers here for both these teams. It's a 1-2 count to Connor Deach, the sophomore catcher from Mission Viejo High School. I'm sure these players are very familiar, as Wade also played at Mission Viejo High School. Long look in. Here's the 1-2 from Wade, and he gets Deach to fan at a pitch that was outside the zone. So another strikeout swinging for Connor Deach. There's now 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. But still a very dangerous hitter now at the plate for the Santa Ana Dons. It's Christian Altamirano. This freshman from Brea Olinda has had a lot of impact ABs this season, hitting .310 and 30 starts for the Dons, so don't let that 9 spot fool you. Here's the first pitch from Wade to Altamirano. This one misses in the dirt. It skips away. Dobson's going to be able to stroll in and score without a throw from third. So it's a wild pitch that allows Dobson to score. Advancing to third now is Case. It's now a 3-2 game. That one looked like it just got away from Deutsch. A very blockable ball to his left. Runner on third, 2 outs. It's a 3-2 game. Altamirano hit a solo home run back in Thursday's loss. That one misses outside. 2-0 the count. Wade now at 80 pitches on his outing. There's some activity going on in the Saddleback bullpen over here on the third base side. This one catches the outer half as the umpire extends the zone there just a tad. 2-1 the count. Bobcats lead 3-2. They have 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. This one misses in the dirt. 3-1 the count now to the shortstop. On deck, if the Dons are able to keep this inning alive, is second baseman Thomas Williams. Here's the 3-1 from Wade as he runs this one inside on Altamirano. Issues him a free pass. So now there's runners on first and third. Altamirano has good speed at first. Let's see if the Dons decide to put him in motion. But that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Thomas Williams. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Drew a base on balls back in the top of the first. He also singled in the top of the third. Catcher Matthew Deutsch will give the signs to the infield. First and third, 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. Bobcats lead 3-2 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Wade still on the mound for the Bobcats. Comes set. Here's the first pitch. This one also misses in the dirt. Keeping Deutsch very busy here in this half of the inning. Williams has 26 RBIs on the season, hitting .354 for the Dons. This one misses down and in. 2-0 the count. Dons were able to get 1 run in the top of the second and 1 run here in the top of the fourth. They have 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors in the afternoon. Bobcats hanging on to a 3-2 lead. This one's hit up the middle. Castelli's going to be able to field it cleanly, make a firm throw over to first, and the Bobcats get out of the inning, only allowing 1 run. So they still lead 3-2 here as we transition to the bottom of the fourth. Reminder, you are watching Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. My name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. It's another lovely day here at Doug Fritz Ballpark here on the campus of Saddleback College. Very nice view out in the distance. And Deal's going to march back out onto the mound for the Santa Ana Dons, so he'll come out for his 4th inning of work. Got roughed up in that last inning as he allowed all 3 runs across for Saddleback to come in the bottom of the third. It was a walk drawn by Hudson, followed by a hit by pitch of Hoyer. Nicoluk was able to get down a sacrifice bunt. Then there was a sacrifice fly RBI by Castelli. There was a walk issued by Tanaka, or drawn by Tanaka, and then J.C. Allen was able to come up with a huge 2 RBI double that plated both Hoyer and Tanaka. That gave the Bobcats a 3-2 lead here now as we transition to the bottom of the fourth. Again, thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. Also on SportsNetUSA.net, we have Cypress College Softball as they take on the Palomar Comets. So both here on this Saturday, April 6th, we have rematches of the 3C2A state championships for both baseball and softball, as both the Dons and the Bobcats played last year for the championship. And it was the Cypress Chargers and the Palomar Comets in softball that were playing for the championship last May. So pretty cool here on SportsNetUSA.net. Pretty big Saturday if you're looking to tune in to some 3C2A action. And Cypress Softball also on SportsNetUSA.net. This one misses in the dirt. It'll be Jake Tyler, the DH today. And Deal currently at 53 pitches. We'll see how efficient he is in this half of the inning. Needed 19 pitches to get out of the bottom of the third, after only needing 24 pitches to get through the first 2 innings of work. This one swung on and missed, an off-speed pitch that had Tyler way out in front. 1-2 the count. Here's the 1-2 from Andeal. Swung on and missed. This one was in the dirt. Deach wasn't able to apply the tag, so he will make a strong throw over to first in time. It's a strikeout. Record that 2-3 on the putout for out number 1. That'll bring up the number 7 hitter, Jacob Hudson. He drew a base on balls and came around to score back in the bottom of the third. He scored on Ben Castelli's sacrifice fly. 1-0 the count after this one misses wide. Hudson on the season, hitting .229. Has 11 hits and 49 ABs. This one misses in the dirt. 2-0 the count to the first baseman. This one swung on and missed. Looked like a 2-0 fastball, but a little bit outside the zone that Hudson offered at. 2-1 the count to the first baseman, hitting from the right side. A freshman from Valley Christian High School over in San Jose. This one misses. 3-1 the count. On deck is right fielder Bryson Hoyer. This one poked out to the right side. Williams gonna have no problem getting to it as it was hit right to him. He makes a throw over to first in time for out number 2. And Deal now at 60 pitches on the outing, so has a chance to extend out maybe to even the 5th or 6th inning in this game after running into some trouble in the 3rd. That'll bring up the right fielder Bryson Hoyer. He was hit by a pitch in his last AB, came around to score on the J.C. Allen double. His first pitch misses down and away. 1-0 the count. This one misses outside as well. 2-0 the count now to the right fielder. Again, activity going on in both bullpens. Looks like there's 2 pitchers warming up for both teams. Can't see numbers as this one's hit into left field. Backing up just a couple steps is Billingsley, and that'll be out number 3. So some solid contact there by Hoyer. However, it was right to the left fielder. Another efficient inning there by Andeal. The Bobcats still lead 3-2 here on SportsNetUSA.net. We transition to the top of the 5th. Due up for the Dons. Will be 2, 3, 4. Riker Billingsley, Jimmy Leanda, and Mikey Rocha. And thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. I'm Noah Alvarez. Looks like there's a new pitcher to tell you about on the mound warming up for the Bobcats. So Jack Wade's day is done. Looks like that's a 35, so it'll be Ryan Seymour. Ryan Seymour is a sophomore right-hander from Woodcrest Christian High School over in Riverside. So because Wade didn't go the required 5 innings, he will not get accredited with the win if the Bobcats are able to hang on. So Jack Wade's day is done after 4 innings of work. He does give up 2 runs, all of which were earned. He gave up 4 hits and 2 runs to the Dons. We'll get you his final line. As I mentioned, Wade went 4 innings pitched, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, both of which were earned, 4 walks, which is a real killer and ran him into some trouble and ran his pitch count rather high. He finished with 88 pitches thrown, and so I'm sure that's why Summer McCartney decided to pull the plug. Also looks like they're going to make a switch at catcher. I believe that is Rodrigo Barajas, the freshman from Torrey Pines High School. So swung on and missed. It's a first pitch strike as Billingsley offered at the first pitch. Not able to get it. So new pitcher, new catcher for the Bobcats. Will get you the rest of the infield and the fielders after this pitch, which is another pitch swung on and missed. Nice efficient start here by Seymour. This one poked out to the right side rather softly. Hudson's going to be able to glove it, and that's a 3 unassisted for out number 1. So 3 pitches, 1 out. And that'll bring up center fielder Jimmy Deanda. So behind the plate now is Rodrigo Barajas. At third, J.C. Allen. At short, Andrew Nicoluk. Ben Castelli at second, and Jacob Hudson over there at first. Breaking ball that misses. Nice idea there to the 3-hitter. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Did reach via a fielder's choice back in inning number 1. This is poked out to the right side. Giving chase is the right fielder, and he's going to make a nice catch on the run. That was Bryson Hoyer, who made that catch about 3 steps away from the foul line. Three to 2 is the score. Bobcats lead here in the top of the 5th. We're seeing Ryan Seymour for the first time this afternoon, as he's been able to work relatively quickly in comparison to Jack Wade, the starter. Offers a first pitch strike on an off-speed pitch there to Mikey Rocha, the first baseman. He struck out looking in his last AB. This one catches the bottom half, says the home plate umpire, 0-2. And you see the body language there by Rocha. Not a big fan of that call. Home plate umpire extending the zone a few times today. Likes that call down and also likes the call a little bit away. This fastball misses very outside. 1-2 the count to Rocha. He also flew out to right field in the top of the 2nd. His third to plate appearance on the afternoon. Leads this Dons lineup, hitting .377 on the season. Here's the 1-2. It's an off-speed pitch. That misses outside. Good idea there, but it's a 2-2 count. Nobody on, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Bobcats lead 3-2. Ryan Seymour, the first reliever we're seeing, and this one swung on and missed. Looked like a fastball that was out of the zone, but Rocha had to protect. As there's the Dons go down 1-2-3. Nice work there by the reliever, Ryan Seymour. As we'll see if the Dons elect to continue to bring out Jackson Andeal, and he will stroll out to the mound. Due up for the Bobcats, 9-1-2. We'll see Andrew Nicoluk, Ben Castelli, and Makani Tanaka when we come back. Again, thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. Bottom of the 5th here at Doug Fritz Field. The Bobcats have a 3-2 lead here on SportsNetUSA.net. Jackson Andeal still on the mound for the Dons. As his first pitch misses in the dirt. That'll be the shortstop, Andrew Nicoluk, who sacrificed 2 runners over back in the bottom of the 3rd. Both those runs came across to score. So Bobcats using a little bit of small ball to put themselves in better position later on in the inning. Had a chance to meet Nicoluk's parents as we were setting up equipment here. Helped me with the name pronunciation as well, so shout out to them. It's a 2-0 count to the shortstop. This one swung on and missed. This was down below the knees, but Nicoluk offered at it. 2-1 the count. It'll be 9-1-2 due up here in the bottom of the 5th. Castelli on deck, Tanaka in the hole. Here's the 2-1 to the shortstop. This one poked out to the right side. Rocha is going to have to field it, and he's going to be able to sprint over to first in time. 3 unassisted. Looked like Andeal got off the mound just a little bit too slow there to beat out the shortstop. So nice heads-up play there by Rocha to have a little bit of sense of urgency and get there for out number 1. That'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Ben Castelli. He had a sac fly RBI in his last AB. Hit it to right center. They lead 3-2 as this one's hit into the Dons dugout. Looked like one of the coaches tried to barehand it there on the hop. 0-1 the count to the second baseman. Hitting .342 on the season as he watches this one miss. Grounds it out to first back in the bottom of the first inning. Leads the team with 3 triples on the season. Also leads the team with 9 hit by pitches. As this one misses outside corner. 2-1 the count. Castelli and J.C. Allen are both tied for the team lead with 17 walks drawn on the season. So both very disciplined hitters. This one hit into the air. It's going to be foul. Let's see if it's in play. And no, it's going to drift over past the bullpen over there on the right side. 2-2 the count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Bobcats lead 3-2 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Noah Alvarez joined by Albert Robles. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Here's the 2-strike pitch. This one misses in the dirt. Runs the count full now. And Deal's already issued out 3 walks this afternoon. Something to keep tabs on. His pitch count after this next pitch will be at 70. I'm sure Tom Nils hoping he can get out of this last inning. This one, misses the lower outside quadrant, and it's a base on balls. The 4th walk issued by Andeal. Castelli's on board for the first time today. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Makani Tanaka. As I mentioned earlier, there was 2 arms warming up for the Dons in the bullpen over here on the right side. Looks like there's only 1 arm warming up, and it looks like it's C.J. Brown, very talented sophomore who was a part of the state championship run last year. Move over to first, and Castelli's back in there safely. On the season, Castelli does have 3 stolen bases, 3 for 5. Doesn't go a whole lot, but Andeal's going to pay a lot of attention to him. Maybe to buy himself some time or buy some more time for the reliever to get warm. Makani Tanaka doesn't have a AB recorded today because he's drawn 2 walks. Swings through the first pitch. It was an off-speed pitch that he was way out in front on. 0-1 the count. Tanaka on the season leading the Bobcats lineup, hitting .410 on the year. This one misses outside. 1-1 the count. An easy take for the center fielder. A sophomore from Honolulu, Hawaii. Bats left-handed but throws right. Haven't seen a lot of balls hit towards his way in center today. As this one misses inside. Nice job there by Deach to put a glove onto that one. Staying put at first is Castelli. 2-1 the count. Seems like some of these misses here by Andeal in this bottom of the 5th have missed more. And ground ball could get him out of the inning. Both runners have some pretty good speed as he swings through that one. That one looked like to be below the zone again. So Tanaka helping Andeal out here. Two and two the count. Runner on first, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Bobcats lead 3-2. This one hit into the air, into left field, kind of shallow. Billingsley's going to have to range over to his right. He's going to be able to make the catch for out number 2. So Tanaka's retired for the first time this afternoon. And that'll bring up J.C. Allen. He's 6 for 11 in the series. Has 8 RBIs also in the series. He's trying to help the Bobcats sweep the Santa Ana Dons. This one's in there. Nice fastball on the outer half. 0-1 the count. He had a big 2 RBI double. And Deal comes set. Now he's going to throw over to first. He always lobs it over there when he throws it. Haven't seen his best move yet on the afternoon. Runner on first is Castelli. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. This one swung on and missed. Looked like a slider there. That fooled Allen pretty badly. It's now an 0-2 count. And Deal, a very talented sophomore, committed to the University of California, Irvine, UCI. Play for the Anteaters next season as he throws this one over again to first base. Batter on deck is Jacob Bouchain if the Bobcats are able to keep the inning alive. Here's the 0-2 from Andeal. Another off-speed pitch, but this one's foul-tipped out of play. Three to 2 is the score here in the bottom of the 5th. Runner goes. This one misses outside. Deach is going to make a strong throw, but not going to be in time. It was a good jump there by Castelli. And he's aboard safely with a stolen base, his 4th on the season. So runner on second, runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Let's see if J.C. Allen can find a hole. This one is swung on and missed, a slider that Allen could not catch up to. We saw that earlier in the AB, so the Dons strand that runner on second. Bobcats still lead 3 to 2. We head to the top of the 6th. Thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. Noah Alvarez joined by Albert Robles. It'll be 5, 6, 7 due up for the Dons. Matthew Dobson, Keon Sanchez, and Carson Case. Again, the Bobcats are looking for a sweep. They defeated the Dons 9-3 in game number 1 in impressive fashion. It was an impressive start by Damon Anderson-Wolf. He pitched 4 scoreless innings, and then it was reliever Dylan Blakely who continued the trend and pitched 3 scoreless innings. So they combined for 7 scoreless innings. They only allowed 7 base runners combined, and that really allowed the Bobcats to cruise to a 9-3 victory. The Dons did get 3 runs late in the top of the 9th. However, it was a little bit too late as they fell to the Bobcats in the opener back on Tuesday, April 2nd. On April 4th, Thursday, the Dons actually jumped out to an early 4-0 lead and then had an 8-2 lead after 4 innings. But it was the Bobcats that pushed 4 runs across in the 5th, 2 runs in the 7th, and then 1 and the go-ahead run in the top of the 9th that allowed them to come out victorious by a score of 9-8. It was Ryan Seymour, who we're going to see on the mound again, who was the winning pitcher after pitching a clean 8th inning. And it was Dylan Blakey who recorded the save after pitching a clean 9th in their win back on Thursday. So the Bobcats looking to sweep, the Dons looking to avoid the sweep. The winner of this game would likely have sole possession of first place here in the Orange Empire Conference. We'll see if we have some score updates from around the Orange Empire Conference. First pitch, hit up the middle. Castelli's going to get to it, make another throw to his right, and gets him in time. A very nice play there by the second baseman for out number 1. Thought that one was for sure getting into center. However, Dobson is recorded out 4-3. We do have some score updates from around the Orange Empire Conference. Cypress has a 5-1 lead over Golden West. That game is in the bottom of the 5th. Breaking ball, this one's a beauty in there for strike 1 to Keon Sanchez. Fullerton still has a 5-0 lead over Orange Coast. That game's in the top of the 6th. This one's popped up past the infield dirt. Nicoluk's going to call off the center fielder. That's out number 2. Irvine Valley still has a 2-0 lead over Riverside City College. So if the score were to remain as is and the Bobcats are able to hang on for the victory, they would have sole possession of first. They would advance to 8-4. Dons would drop to 7-6, while the Rustlers and the Pirates would also drop to 7-5. 7-5. This one misses down. 2-0 the count. Seymour working at a much faster pace than we saw Jack Wade work. Top of the 6th inning. This one hit into the air, but very shallow. Nicoluk and Allen both there, but Nicoluk's going to call off the left fielder and third baseman to make the third and final out. Nice plays there by the shortstop. Not an easy thing, too, as he was battling the sun. Nonetheless, it's a 1-2-3 inning. Seymour really shutting the door on these Dons hitter here in the middle innings as the Bobcats lead 3-2. Due up in the bottom of the 6th. When we come back, it'll be 4, 5, 6. Jacob Bouchain, Rodrigo Barajas, and Jake Tyler. We'll be right back after this break. Back here at Doug Fritz Field, Bobcats have a 3-2 lead. It's still Jackson Andeal. This one's poked into left field. That's Jacob Bouchain. Let's see if he tries to go for 2. He's going to hold put at first base after a strong throw by left fielder Riker Billingsley. So a leadoff single for the Bobcats here in the bottom of the 6th. Andeal still on the mound for the Dons. Let's see how long of a leash Tom Nils gives him. We mentioned that C.J. Brown, one of their better relievers, warming up in the bullpen. That'll bring up Rodrigo Barajas. The first we're seeing of him. A lot of teammates call him Junior as he came in to catch in the last half inning. Shows bunt, pulls it away, and this one still ruled a strike, says home plate umpire. So Junior's quickly down 0-1 in his first AB. Matthew Deutsch was the one who got the start. He grounded out to third and popped up to first base. Mikey Rocha. Middle infield at double play depth. Dobson playing in on the grass after seeing the bunt on the first pitch. Barajas hitting from the left side. A freshman from Torrey Pines High School over in the San Diego County area. Shows bunt. Tried to pull this one back, it looked like, but he pushed it foul over on the left side. So now he's behind 0-2. Bobcats have 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Dons have 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Clean defensive game as this one's hit into right field rather sharply. Case is going to have to go back, but he makes the catch. Bouchain will have to go back to first as it was a well-hit ball by Barajas, but it's out number 1. That'll bring up the DH today, Jake Tyler, hitting from the right side. He had a solo home run and their 9-8 victory on Thursday. It was a home run in the top of the 5th for Jake Tyler. That was in Thursday's win over the Santa Ana Dons. It was back and forth game. The Dons led 8-2 after 4 innings. Excuse me, after 5 innings. However, the Bobcats were able to muster up the comeback, win 9-8. Tyler's going to show bunt. That one looked like it was in the zone. However, looked like Tom Nils is actually going to go talk to the catcher and play around with the pitch comm over there with Connor Deach. 1 runner on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Bobcats lead 3-2 here on SportsNetUSA.net. It's a 1-0 count. Runner on first is Jacob Bouchain, the left fielder, as this one misses down and in. 2-0 the count. Bouchain on the season does have 5 stolen bases, 5 of 6 on the season. Bobcats have 34 stolen bases as a team and have only been caught stealing 7 times, so a very efficient team when they decide to run. We saw them run earlier in the afternoon. It was Ben Castelli who swiped a bag back in the bottom of the 5th. And Deal throws over again. It's a chilly Saturday afternoon here at Doug Fritz Field. But nice weather for baseball as the skies have cleared. Tyler shows bunt again. Deach wasn't able to get a good glove on that. And on the wild pitch, advancing to second, is Bouchain. So a 3-0 count to the DH. Jacob Hudson on deck. Tyler has struck out swinging in both his plate appearances this afternoon. Williams holding the runner at second. Now backs off. This one misses the zone, so it's a 4-pitch walk to Tyler. Looks like the control has deserted him just a bit here in the bottom of the 6th. He's now at 89 pitches. Next pitch will be number 90. Let's see if he gets a chance to pick out number 90. However, it looks like the pitching coach going to stroll over to the mound. As I mentioned, CJ Brown and plenty of other arms have been warming up for the Dons over there on the right side. Runners on first and second here in the bottom of the 6th. Bobcats lead 3-2 against the #1 team here in the state of California. And yep, looks like Tom Nils is going to make a call for a pitching change. So we have a new pitcher to tell you about when we come back. Looks like it's the sophomore right-hander CJ Brown wearing number 33. When we come back, we'll have a little bit more to tell you about CJ Brown. Back here at Doug Fritz Field, we're seeing the first of C.J. Brown this series. He's arguably one of the best relievers out of the Santa Ana College bullpen. He's made 9 other appearances thus far for the Dons, has pitched 24 innings and has only allowed 3 runs in those 24 innings. Good enough for an ERA of 1.13. He has a 3-0 win-loss record, giving up 21 hits, 5 walks, and 16 strikeouts, again, in those 24 innings. He has a nasty wipeout slider. We had a chance to see him quite a bit last year in the postseason when the Dons went on their run. First pitch misses outside to Hudson. He's a sophomore from Pacifica High School, C.J. Brown. This one catches the upper outer quadrant. Hudson not too happy with that call. 1-1 the count to the first baseman. 0 for 1 on the day. Drew a walk and came around to score back in the bottom of the third. Bobcats still hanging on to that 3-2 lead, but a chance to add more insurance runs. This one misses inside. So Andiel's day is done after 90 pitches. He finished going 5 1/3 of an inning. This one, a beautiful slider that catches the outer half. 2-2 the count. He only gave up 2 hits, but he did walk 6 batters and allowed 3 runners to come across. He did have 2 wild pitches and struck out 4 batters in those 5 1/3 innings. He is responsible for the 2 runners on right now. This one hit on the ground weakly. Altamirano tosses it over to Williams. Williams to first is going to be in time. 6-4-3, an inning-ending double play for the reliever, C.J. Brown. So nice job there by the sophomore to get out of the inning with a grounder there. That'll turn things over to the top of the 7th. Bobcats still have a 3-2 lead here on SportsNetUSA.net. This is turning out to be an exciting finish. We'll see if, yes it is, it's still Ryan Seymour on the mound for the Bobcats. Man, he's had an efficient outing thus far, has only used 17 pitches, and has really sliced and diced these Dons hitters. Only has 1 strikeout, but he's caused a lot of weak contact as well coming out of the bullpen. I was unsure of how long he was going to be able to go because he did pitch 1 inning in Thursday's victory. He pitched a clean 8th inning and was rewarded the win after the Bobcats were able to get a run in the top of the 9th. It was Dylan Blakey who came in to get the save in that win over the Dons on Thursday afternoon. Again, Bobcats lead 3-2 here in the top of the 7th. Due up for the Dons, it'll be 8-9-1. We'll see if they decide. Look like there is a pinch hitter for Connor Deach. That's number 32, Abel Castrejón. So it looks like the Connor Deach's day is done. Abel Castrejón, the freshman from Tussin, will take over, I'm assuming, behind the plate as well for Deach. So 8-9-1 due up for the Dons here in the top of the 7th. They trail 3-2. Again, thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. Seymour throws a rare first pitch ball here to Castrejón. Still Junior Barajas behind the plate for the Bobcats. This one catches the outer half. It's 1-1 on the season. Castrejón hitting .239. Has 5 hits and 46 ABs. This one foul tipped back into the net. 1-2 the count. J.C. Allen still at third. Nicoluk at short. Castelli at second and Hudson over at first. Hoyer in right. Tanaka in center. And Bouchane in left. This one foul tipped out of play to the left side. We'll do it again, 1-2. On deck, Christian Altamirano, the shortstop. And in the hole, Thomas Williams, 8-9-1. Here's the 1-2 from Seymour, an off-speed pitch that Misses down and away. 2-2 the count to the catcher. He's a left-handed hitting catcher. Throws right-handed. Freshman from Tustin High School. Off-speed pitch. Looked like a backdoor breaking ball, but caught too much of the zone as Castrojones able to foul it out of play once again. 2-2 the count. A nice AB here by the catcher coming off the bench. Standing at 5'8". Center fielder Tanaka shaded about 2 steps over to left center, as this one's also fouled off the same vicinity over there in that parking lot on the left side. A lot of souvenirs potentially for fans if they went and chased them. 3-2 is the score. Bobcats lead here in the top of the 7th. Nobody on, nobody out. This one caught a lot of the plate, but it's popped up into shallow center. Tanaka's going to call off everybody else. And it's a fly out to center field for out number 1. That'll bring up the shortstop, Christian Altamirano, who's 0 for 1 on the day. Did drew a base on balls back in the top of the 4th. Shortstop does have a lot of power in his bat. He's a freshman from Brea Olinda High School. Hit a solo home run back in Thursday's loss. As this one, a breaking ball on the outer half from Seymour. 0-1 the count. Here's the 0-1 from Seymour. Another breaking ball in the same spot. Wow. Another great placement there. Seymour working relatively quickly. It's now a 0-2 count. This one chopped right in front of the pitcher. Seymour gonna have no problem. Makes a strong throw over to first in time for out number 2. So a really good outing out of the bullpen for Ryan Seymour, the sophomore from Woodcrest Christian High School. That'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Thomas Williams. He's a switch hitter, so now hitting from the left side after his first 2 ABs were from the right side. This one catches the outer half, says home plate umpire. Very generous call. It's an 0-1 count to the second baseman. This one misses way outside. 1-1 the count. Williams 0 for 1 on the day. Excuse me, 1 for 2 on the day. Drew a base on balls back in the first, singled in the third, and grounded out to second in the 4th. Breaking ball, oh. Nice idea there on the back door, however, misses the outer half. 2-1. On deck looks like it's Robert Linares on deck that would hit for Riker Billingsley. This one hit to the shortstop. A big hop there for Nicoluk. He's going to have to make a strong throw that pulls Hudson off the bag, and he's going to reach via an error. Nice job there by the catcher Barajas to back up the throw. So staying put at first is Williams. Score that an E6. And that'll bring up a pinch hitter for the 2 spot. It was Riker Billingsley who was starting. That'll be Robert Linares, a freshman from Warren High School. Both him and Keon Sanchez have kind of split time at the DH spot for the Dons this year. Linares does have a lot of power in his bat, however, has struggled to make contact as of late. He foul tips this one. It was a breaking ball on the first pitch. 0-1 the count. On the season, Linares hitting .264, has 3 home runs and 53 ABs. This one foul tipped, out of play to the right side. 0-2. Does have 17 strikeouts in those 53 ABs, so a little bit of a feast or famine hitter. .0-2 count. Runner on first, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Williams has good speed over there at first. Seymour makes a move over there to first. Seymour comes set once again. Here's the 0-2. It's a breaking ball. Ooh, just misses. A tough take there for Linares. Good spot to miss if you're Ryan Seymour. Looks like there's a arm warming up in the Saddleback bullpen. This potentially could be the last batter that Seymour faces on the afternoon. He's done a terrific job in 2 1/3 innings, and he gets Linares to swing through a breaking ball for out number 3. So really nice piece of pitching there by Seymour out of the bullpen. He keeps it a 3-2 game, has quieted down this Dons lineup. Not an easy thing to do as a team. The Dons entered today hitting .312 on the year, which was good enough for 10th in the state of California. However, both the starter, Jack Wade, and the reliever, Ryan Seymour, have limited the Dons to just 4 hits and 2 runs through 6.5 innings. We're transitioning to the bottom of the 7th. Bobcats still have a 3-2 lead here on SportsNetUSA.net. C.J. Brown will still be on the mound for the Santa Ana Dons. It'll be a new catcher, Abel Castrojon, for the Dons. Again, both him and Connor Deach have primarily been the main 2 catchers for this season. We've also seen a little bit of Isaac Fernandez on the year, who's gotten 8 starts behind the plate. Both these teams 7-4 on the year and a 4-way tie in the Orange Empire Conference. Let's see if we have some score updates for you, as the winner of this game could potentially have sole possession of first place. Golden West currently trails Cypress 5-2. That game is in the top of the 7th. IVC has pulling away, now has a 6-0 lead over Riverside City College. And Orange Coast is now on the board, but still trails 5-1 in the bottom of the 7th to Fullerton College. So again, Orange Coast, Golden West, Santa Ana, and Saddleback all were tied entering today's games at 7-4. If the score, or sorry, if Saddleback hangs on, they will advance to 8-4, and the other 3 would advance to 7-5. Again, the Orange Empire Conference is not potentially the best. It is the best baseball conference in the state of California. Here's the first pitch from C.J. Brown to the number 8 hitter, Bryson Hoyer, and the misses outside, 1-0 the count. Sophomore from Pacifica pitches from the right side of the rubber. This one poked out to the left side, and that's going to fall. Looks like there's a new left fielder to tell you about. Can't see a number, but I believe that is Jake Long. So it was Linares who hit for Billingsley, and Jake Long. Yep, it is number 6, Jake Long, a freshman from Lucerna. So it's Long in the outfield with Deanda in center and Case in right. Dobson still at third. Altamirano at short, Williams at second, and Rocha at first. Castrojon's newly entered into the game. It's a leadoff single for the Bobcats, as Rocha was going to crash on the bunt. I believe that was a strike, as Nicoluk did pull back. However, now they're going to rule that a ball. 1-0 the count to the shortstop. Did lay down a sacrifice bunt, as Castrojon is going to give the signs to the infield. Another arm warming up over there in the bullpen on the first base side for Santa Ana College. Nicoluk showing bunt again. Dobson's going to crash. This one looked like it caught, nearly hit Nicoluk, but it did foul off the bat. So it'll be a 1-1 count. Tough to pull the bat away on a pitch inside like that, especially from C.J. Brown, who does have some good velocity. Castrojon's going to switch up the signs, give more signs to the infield. On deck is the leadoff hitter, Ben Castelli. So the Bobcats trying to move that runner over for the top of the order. Here's the pitch from C.J. Brown. It's a breaking ball, and this one fouled out of play to the right side. 1-2 the count now, so 2 strikes will see if the Bobcats decide to have Nicoluk still with the bunt sign on. Three to 2 is the score. Bobcats lead here in the bottom of the 7th, looking to get an insurance run. This one, bunt gets placed down. Brown's going to have to throw this over to Williams, who's covering. So a nice job there by Nicoluk to get that bunt down. Score that 1-4 since it was Williams covering for out number 1. On the sacrifice, Hoyer moves over to second. So a runner in scoring position for the top of the order. One out here in the bottom of the 7th. This will be the fourth plate appearance for Castelli. He shows bunt. This one misses outside, a two-seamer that had a lot of tail on it. 1-0 the count. Castelli 0 for 1 on the day, does have a sac fly RBI, and does have a base on balls in his last AB. Also has a stolen base. Breaking ball, tried to backdoor Castelli, however it's outside. 2-0 the count. 1 out, runner on second. Deanda shaded about 7 steps over towards right center. Castelli checks his swing. Appeal down to third base umpire, and they said he did. So 2-1 the count. On deck is Makani Tanaka, the center fielder. 1 out here. Bottom of the 7th. This one catches the outer half. It's that backdoor breaking ball that Brown attempted earlier. It's now a 2-2 count to the second baseman. With the left-handed hitter up, it's Christian Altamirano, the shortstop, holding the runner on second. This one misses way outside. 3-2 now the count. Brown has only issued 5 walks in 24 innings pitched this year. This one foul tipped out of play behind us at the press box, so we'll do it again. 3-2. Bobcats got all 3 of their runs in the bottom of the 3rd and have been held scoreless since. Looking to get another insurance run. Runner on second, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Castelli up at the plate. Here's the 3-2. This one misses the bottom half of the zone. CJ Brown is frustrated at himself. And now there's runners on first and second. So a rare walk issued there by CJ Brown. That'll bring up Makani Tanaka, the center fielder. Is 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Has reached twice via the base on balls. It looks like CJ Brown day is done. New pitcher to tell you about. Runners on first and second. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Once we see a number, we'll go ahead and report it to you. Looks like it's number 51, Joey Iglesias. So one of the key arms that played a big part in the state championship run last year is going to be on the mound. He took the loss in Thursday's game. He pitched the final 2 2/3 of an inning, but he gave up that run in the top of the 9th that allowed the Bobcats to come out victorious. So he'll be tasked with keeping these runners staying put at first and second. When we come back, it'll be Makani Tanaka due up at the plate. So it'll be Joey Iglesias to face off the number 2 and 3 hitters. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Runners on first and second. This pitch misses inside. That's a 1-0 count to Tanaka. He's already drawn 2 walks in the afternoon thus far. Iglesias wears number 51. He's a sophomore from Madison High School over in the San Diego area. This one foul tipped into the glove. 1-1 the count to Tanaka. Again, hitting over 400 on the season, 410 to be exact, and 30 starts for the Bobcats. Has 3 home runs, 34 RBIs, 12 doubles, leads the team with 12 doubles. This one fouled out of play. 1-2 the count now to the center fielder. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Bobcats hanging on to a 3-2 lead, looking to get some insurance runs. Leonda shaded about 2 steps over towards left center. Iglesias pitching from the first base side of the rubber. This one grounded over to the right side. Rocha gonna have to do it himself, and he is able to beat Tanaka to the bag. 3 unassisted for out number 2. But advancing to second is Castelli, and advancing to third is Bryson Hoyer. So they do have J.C. Allen. They do have the base open for J.C. Allen, and they're going to intentionally walk him. So J.C. Allen won't be able to hit on this one. He draws an intentional base on balls. So bases are loaded. The infielders do have a force at any base. 2 outs in the inning. That'll bring up the left fielder, Jacob Bouchain. This one, ooh, a first pitch strike in there. That was a pretty one. Maybe the prettiest pitch you'll get in this AB. Here's the 0-1. This one misses way outside. 1-1 the count now to the left fielder. He had a leadoff single back in the bottom of the 6th. Drew a base on balls in the 3rd, and then popped up to second base in the bottom of the 2nd. 1-1 count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Bases loaded for the Bobcats. Can they get some insurance runs? This one's into the air. Softly, Altamirano's going to go back, and he's going to make the catch in front of left fielder Jake Long. An impressive range there from the shortstop. He had to go a long ways from his shortstop position. But he's able to record the 3rd and final out. So the Bobcats do load the bases, however, strand all 3 runners and are unable to push any insurance runs across. They still lead 3-2 as we transition to the top of the 8th inning. It'll be 3-4-5 due up for the Dons, the heart of the order. I'm sure we'll see a new pitcher for the Bobcats. Looks like it'll be number 24, Zachary Allegro. He's a 6'4" sophomore from Fallbrook High School, which is over in the San Diego County area. Very outskirts of San Diego, though, so I'm sure only about a 30-minute drive from his hometown over here to Saddleback College. Again, 3-4-5 due up for the Dons. An important inning here if the Bobcats hope to hang on for victory. Again, both these teams tied at 7-4 entering today. They were in a 4-way tie for first place in the Orange Empire Conference. Last we checked, Cypress had a 5-3 lead over Golden West. Golden West was one of those teams that were tied at 7-4. Also tied at 7-4 was Orange Coast. They now trail 7-1 to Fullerton College. The game's in the bottom of the 7th. Also going on in the OEC, Irvine Valley has a 8-0 lead over Riverside City College. Again, the OEC is the best baseball conference in the 3C2A. It was a conference that sent 6 teams to the postseason last year, including the top 3 of the 4 top seeds. Saddleback earned a number 2 seed. Riverside City was the 3, while Santa Ana was the 4 and went on to win the 3C2A championship. The OEC has provided the last 3 3C2A championships going back to 2019, as there's a breaking ball there A beautiful one, and it's strike number 1 to Jimmy De Anda. So Allegro is a big right-hander. Pitches from the right side of the rubber. Breaking ball hit softly into left field. Can there be a play made on it? No, but he is able to trap it. De Anda's going to scoot over to second, and it's a leadoff double for the center fielder. So really good diving attempt there by Bouchane. However, he wasn't able to grab it cleanly. He did prevent it from going to the wall. So De Anda's aboard with a leadoff double. Nobody out here in the top of the 8th. Again, 3 straight sophomores being sent to the plate. It'll be Mikey Rocha due up for the Dons, first baseman. 0 for 3 on the day, flew out to right and struck out twice. Both the third baseman and first baseman are in on the grass, expecting a bunt. This one hit on the ground hard. Allen's not going to be able to come up with it cleanly. Nukaluk got it off the ricochet. No play at first. De Anda scoots back to second. So now there's runners on first and second. Interesting to see if they do give him an error, so it's E5. There's a hard hit ball, and Allen was playing on the edge of the grass. So had very little time to react to that one. A ricochet looked like off his leg, and it skipped, fortunately for the Bobcats, right to Nicoluk. Now it'll be 2 runners on, nobody out for Matthew Dobson. Again, corner infielders are in, expecting a bunt. This first pitch misses in the dirt. Now both Hudson and Allen will play even with the bag. Dobson hitting .365 on the season. Shows bunt. Oh, this time couldn't get it down in fair territory as it goes right back to the backstop. 1-1 the count. There was a late bunt attempt as well. 0 for 1 on the day. Has drawn 2 walks. Runners on first and second. Dobson showing bunt early. Pulls it back after this one was in the dirt. De Anda's going to stay put at second. Nice work there by Barajas. 2-1 the count. So a lot of pressure early on Allegro in this outing out of the bullpen. He pitched in Tuesday's victory and went 1 2/3 inning, as this one's bunt, but it's popped up into the fence behind home plate, and so now it's 2-2. Allegro did give up those 3 runs in the top of the 9th in that game number 1 on April 2nd. He gave up 3 hits, 1 walk. All 3 runs were earned. But again, the Bobcats had such a comfortable lead. Allegro wasn't in any real danger. 2-2 count, 2 runners on, nobody out here in the top of the 8th. This one passes Barajas, and now De Anda's going to get to third. Rocha's going to get to second, and it runs the count full. So the sophomore struggling with his location here early on. It was a bloop double for De Anda that dropped right in front of Bouchane. An error on the third baseman, Allen, that allowed Dobson to reach. They're both in scoring position now after the wild pitch, and this breaking ball misses outside. So the bases are loaded, nobody out. Not what you wanted if you were head coach Summer McCartney, as it looks like there's going to be a mound visit between the pitcher, catcher, and coach. And Bobcats have a 3-2 lead here in the top of the 8th inning. Both these teams tied at 7-4 A four-way tie entering today for first place in the Orange Empire Conference, with both Orange Coast and Golden West trailing in their games. The winner of this game could have sole possession of first place heading into next week's matches. The Dons will have Riverside City College next week. They have two of those games on the road, their first being at home. While the Bobcats will have three games against Cypress College. Two of those three will be here at Doug Fritz Field. So the Bobcats will take on the Chargers, while the Dons will go ahead and take on the Tigers. Bases loaded. They on at third, Rocha at second, and Dobson at first for Keon Sanchez, the DH. 0 for 3 on the day. 2 flyouts to left and a pop-up to short. This breaking ball misses in the dirt. Nice work there by Barajas. 1-0 the count. Sanchez has 8 RBIs on the season and 15 starts for the Dons. Has a chance to pick up a few more if he hits. This one scoots past Barajas. De Onda's going to go home. Barajas going to have no play as De Onda's able to beat the pitcher to the base. And scoring on the wild pitch is De Onda. Moving to third is Rocha. And moving to second is Dobson. So now it's a tie game. 3-3 is the score here in the top of the 8th. Still nobody out. Things going from bad to worse for Zachary Allegro. 2-0 the count to the DH, Keon Sanchez. Infield in on the grass. Trying to prevent that go-ahead run from coming across for the Dons. Let's see what Sanchez can do. Up 2-0. This is a nice fastball on the bottom half. Looked like Sanchez was taking all the way. Because the infield's in, a little blooper into shallow outfield. Could score 2 runs. Nobody out. This one's in the dirt. Another nice job block there by Junior Barajas. 3-1 the count. Looks like there's a righty warming up in the Saddleback bullpen. Let's see how long of a leash that McCartney gives. Allegro, who's currently on the mound, trailing 3-1. This one poked out into right center, and it's going to fall. Both runs will come across to score, and Sanchez is aboard with a RBI, 2 RBI single. So Rocha scores from third. Dobson scores from second. Now the Dons have flipped the scripts and have a 5-3 lead. Again, Allegro entered with the Bobcats up 3-2. He gave a leadoff double to De Onda. Rocha reached via an error. Dobson was walked as Carson Case tries to put a bunt down, but is unsuccessful in doing so. 0-1 the count. Looks like there's going to be a pinch runner for Keon Sanchez. Orlando Arellano is going to be running for the DH. The 5'7" freshman from Grossmont High School. Does have 3 stolen bases on the season. Case does put this one over towards first base side. Going to make a bang-bang throw is the pitcher Allegro, and that's out number 1. Advancing to second is Arellano. And look like that could be it for Zachary Allegro. So we could see a new pitcher as Abel Castrojon, the catcher for the Dons, will be due up next here in the top of this 8th. There is one out in the inning. Runner on second, and that'll be the day for Zachary Allegro. Was only able to record one out, needed 17 pitches to do so, allowed 3 runs to come across, one of which was unearned, gave up 2 hits, 1 walk, and was only able to record 1 out. New pitcher to tell you about, it'll be Isaac Rodriguez, 6-foot freshman from Bakersfield, California. Isaac pitched 3 shutout innings in their win back on Thursday. After Tyler Burns gave up 8 runs in the game to Santa Ana College, a combination of Isaac Rodriguez, Ryan Seymour, and Dylan Blakey combined for 5 shutout innings of the Dons and held them at 8 runs for the remainder of the game, allowing the Bobcats to come back and win by a final score of 9-8. Rodriguez was still in the game when the Bobcats were trailing, so he did not pick up the win. It was rewarded to Ryan Seymour, who pitched a clean 8th inning, and Dylan Blakey was rewarded the save after pitching a clean 9th. So it's a new pitcher. Runner on second, 1 out here in the top of the 8th. The Dons now have a 5-3 lead after trailing 3-2 entering this inning. On the season, Rodriguez has made 12 appearances now for the Bobcats, has a record of 1-1, an ERA of 2.93. He's pitched 15 1/3 innings, has given up 11 hits, 5 runs, all of which have been earned, 4 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Opposing batters are only hitting 196 against him, so a very effective pitcher. Doesn't get a lot of strikeouts, however, pitches to contact, allows his defense to make the necessary plays, and keeps things in the ballpark. Coming all the way from Bakersfield, California, electing not to stay home and playing for the Bakersfield Renegades. And a lot of talent here in the Orange Empire Conference, not only because of the talent here in Orange County, but a lot of players from outside the county and outside the area will come down here to play baseball here in one of the best baseball conferences in the state. So Dons lead 5-3 now. Runner on second, 1 out. The shortstop, Nicoluk, holding the runner at second. Now bails. This one misses the outer half. 1-0 the count. Castrojon flew out to center field in his first AB back in the top of the 7th. This one misses high and outside. 2-0 the count. Castrojon started Thursday's game, went 0 for 3, did have an RBI and score a run via an error. And he started game number 1 of this series, went 0 for 3 with the walk drawn in their 9-3 loss back on Tuesday. He's up now 2-0, no 3-0. Runner on second, 1 out. Top of the 8th inning. This one catches the zone. It's now a 3-1 count to the catcher. On deck for the Dons is Christian Altamirano, the shortstop. They've already got 3 runs across in this inning. They entered the inning trailing 3-2. They scored 1 run in the second, 1 run in the 4th. This one hit up the middle. Nicoluk's going to have to charge it. Takes a weird hop. Has to make a strong throw, and it gets past Hudson. It gets past Hudson, and scoring now from third is Arellano. That took a wicked hop on Nicoluk. He had to rush his throw, and he wasn't able to make an accurate throw for a Hudson over there at first. So E6, but it's an RBI for Castrojon. As Arellano comes around to score, he pinch ran for Keon Sanchez. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Christian Altamirano, the freshman from Brea Linda High School. So things going from bad to worse here for Saddleback College. They now trail 6-3. Still only 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Rodriguez's first pitch is a breaking ball that misses inside. Altamirano ducked out of the way on that one. Maybe gave up on it a little too soon. 1-0 the count to the shortstop. Oh for 2 on the day. He did drew a base on balls back on the top of the 4th. Oh, nice two-seam fastball on the outer half. Starting the outside of the plate, but runs back over the zone. Dons lead 6-3. They've now pushed 4 runs across here in the top of the 8th. Runner on second, 1 out. Second baseman Ben Castelli holding the runner on. This one hit into the 5-6 hole. Let's see if they send Castrojon. No, they're going to hold him up at third. Strong throw by Bouchane. And it's a single for the shortstop, Altamirano. So the Dons' bats have been relatively quiet for much of this game. However, they really erupted here. It was a leadoff double by Jimmy Leanda. An error by the third baseman, J.C. Allen. That allowed Rocha to reach base. Dobson reached via a walk. Then it was an RBI single for Keon Sanchez. Case laid down a sacrifice bunt. That was the only out of the inning. Castrojon reached via an error, and Altamirano now has a single. Turn things over to the top of the order. 1 out still, runners at the corners. And it's Thomas Williams, the switch hitting second baseman. As he watches this one miss down in the dirt. 1-0 the count. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast that errors have really plagued the Dons in the first 2 games. This time it's the Bobcats who have now committed 3 errors today, as Williams fouls this one out of play to the right side. 1-1. Entering today's game, the Dons had committed 5 errors in their 2 losses, the first 2 games of this series. But now it's Saddleback College struggling to field the ball cleanly. Here's the 1-1 from Rodriguez. Runners at the corners. This one catches the outer half. 1-2 the count. Altamirano at first. Castrojon at third. This one's blooped into shallow left field. Going to be in play for Bouchane, and staying put at Castrojon because it was such a shallow fly ball is Castrojon at third. So a very fortunate out there for the Bobcats. It's the second out of the inning. Now the Dons will send the 9th batter here in the inning. Going to be a pinch hitter, as it's Jake Long. This one catches the outer half. 0-1 the count. Billingsley started the game, went 0 for 2. Then Linares came in a pinch hit for him in the top of the 7th. They didn't want to put Linares in left field, so Jake Long made the defensive substitution in the last half of the inning. Getting his first AB here, he fouls this one out of play. He's down now 0-2 on the season. The left-handed hitting Jake Long, hitting .271 in 23 starts for the Dons this year. This one pulled foul, and the first base coach has to skip to my loo out of that one. First and third, 2 outs. Castrojon at third. Altamirano at first. On deck, Jimmy Leanda. This is the 9th batter that the Dons have sent to the plate here in the top of the 9th. This one's in the dirt. Altamirano's going to throw back. Now Castrojon's going to try and score. Hudson allows the run to score. Altamirano caught in the rundown. And so it's a successful play for the Dons, as Hudson went to chase Altamirano and basically conceded, allowed Castrojon to score from third. So the Dons are able to push 5 runs across in that inning. Score that 2 to 3 to 6. Back to, I believe, 1 for the third and final out of the inning. Bobcats now trail 7-3 as we head to the bottom of the eighth. Reminder, you're watching Saddleback College Baseball here on sportsnetusa.net. When we come back, it'll be 5, 6, 7 due up for the Bobcats. Let's see if they can find a way to claw back into this one just as they did in Thursday's 9-8 victory. Again, I'm Noah Alvarez, joined by Albert Robles. Thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on sportsnetusa.net. So it's the bottom of the eighth inning here for the Saddleback Bobcats. They now trail 7-3. It's the first time they've trailed, no, second time they've trailed in today's ball game. They trailed 1-0 after the second inning, but they put up 3 runs in the bottom of the third as his first pitch misses to Rodrigo Barajas. The Dons responded with 1 run in the fourth, but the Bobcats hung on to that 3-2 lead all the way until the top of the eighth, where the Dons erupted for 5 runs. It's now a 7-3 game in favor of Santa Ana College. And a reminder, both these teams enter today tied for first. Both Orange Coast and Golden West, it looks like they're going to lose their games. So the winner of this game could have sole possession of first place in the Orange Empire Conference. Rodrigo Barajas flew out to right field in his first AB, pinch hitting for Matthew Deutsch, who got the start behind the plate, and it's a 4-pitch walk. Really interested to see how long they let Joey Iglesias go, as he did pitch 2 1/3 innings back in the Thursday's game. He threw 50 pitches to get out those final 8 outs of the game. Looks like there's another pinch hitter to tell you about, this time for the Saddleback Bobcats. It's Jason Wright, left-handed hitting catcher, sophomore from Westview High School. This one misses down and away. So it looks like both relievers for both sides having a little bit of trouble, and that's going to force Tom Nils to come out to the mound as he calls time. So Jason Wright pinch hitting for Jake Tyler, who started as the DH today. Wright has appeared in 19 games, has made 10 starts for the Bobcats this year, hitting .220, 9 hits, and 41 ABs. Does have 3 RBIs on the season. Runner on first, nobody out. Bobcats trail by 4, 7-3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning, down to their final 6 outs. See if you can get you some score updates from around the Orange Empire Conference. Golden West making a little bit more of a game now. Cypress leads 5-4 in the bottom of the 8th. One of the games went final as Irvine Valley defeated Riverside City College 8-0. Riverside City won the first 2 games of that series, so Irvine Valley avoiding the sweep there. And Fullerton still leading Orange Coast. Orange Coast down to their last ABs. They trail 8-1 in the top of the 9th. So Fullerton hangs on to win, and if Cypress hangs on to win, the winner of this game will be in sole possession of first place heading into next week's series. This one catches the outer half, 1-1 the count. The Dons will take on Riverside City next week, while Saddleback will have 2 of their 3 games here at home against Cypress College. Here's the 1-1. This one's hit weakly. Back to the mound. Iglesias is going to make a throw over to first in time. That was a soft line drive, but almost no reaction time for Barajas as he's thrown out. Score that 1-3 for out number 2. It's a double play and just a real momentum killer if you're the Bobcats. Lined right back to the pitcher, and it wasn't lined back very hard, so plenty of time for Iglesias to put the glove out there. Wow. Very unfortunate there as this one misses the outer half. It'll be Jacob Hudson, the first baseman, freshman from Valley Christian High School over in San Jose. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This one's fouled out of play, past the press box. 1-1 the count. Hudson hitting .229 on the season, has made 12 starts now for the Bobcats. This one catches the upper half of the zone. It's now a 1-2 count to the first baseman. On deck is right fielder Bryson Hoyer. Bobcats down to their last 4 outs. This one misses outside. Good spot to miss if you're Iglesias. This one misses inside. Iglesias and some of the infielders started walking towards their dugout thinking it was strike number 3. However, home plate umpire says that's ball 3. Full count now, nobody on. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Bobcats trail 7-3. A momentum killer line drive double play just moments ago. This one fouled off out of play. Iglesias had a little grunt on that one, putting a little extra on the pitch. His next pitch will be number 20 of his outing. Again, he threw 50 pitches on Thursday and was credited with the loss. Full count to Jacob Hudson. Let's see what he can do here. High chopper to Christian Altamirano. Morano from a running position makes a strong throw over to first in time for out number 3. So after getting that leadoff hitter on, a double play quickly wipes away any momentum that the Bobcats may have had. They're down to their final 3 outs as we move to the top of the 9th. Again, thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. Looks like there's a new pitcher to tell you about for Saddleback College. A big right-hander. Wearing number 39, it's Jake Porter. He's a 6'1" freshman from Tesoro High School. So he'll come in, be tasked with taking the last 3 outs of the game. He's now the 5th pitcher that the Bobcats have used in today's game. It was a start made by Jack Wade. He pitched 4 relatively clean innings, gave up 4 hits, 4 walks, only 2 runs. But he did use 88 pitches in those 4 innings of work. So he was quickly pulled. Ryan Seymour pitched 3 shutout innings in relief right after Wade. But after Seymour was pulled, they went to Zachary Allegro. Zachary Allegro only was able to record 1 out. Gave up 2 hits, 4 runs, 3 of which were earned, 1 walk, and was done after 21 pitches. After Allegro, they brought in Isaac Rodriguez, who got the final 2 outs of the top of the 8th, but he did allow 1 run to come across. It was an unearned run, and he did give up 1 hit in doing so. So now we're seeing Jake Porter, again a freshman from Tesoro High School. Has only made 7 other appearances for the Bobcats this year. Has a record of 2-1. Has pitched in 13 2/3 innings. Has an ERA of 5.93. In those 14 innings, he's given up 17 hits, 11 runs, 9 of which have been earned, 4 walks, and 11 strikeouts. So pitcher number 5 for the Saddleback Bobcats. It'll be 2-3-4 due up for the Dons here in this half of the inning. Top of the ninth, they lead 7-3. It'll be Jake Long. As this one catches the outer half. Strike number 1. This is the first AB technically still for Jake Long. He was at the plate when Altamirano got into a pickle that allowed Castrojon to come in and score. This one poked to the left side, can get past Nicoluk over there at short, and it's a leadoff single for the Dons once again. So Long's aboard at first. That'll bring up the center fielder, Jimmy Leanda. As I mentioned, Tom Nils primarily used Leanda as the leadoff hitter, but decided to move him back to the 3 spot. And now he has a very sophomore-heavy part of the lineup at 3-4-5 with Leanda, Rocha on deck, and Dobson in the hole. A lot of experience between those 3 hitters. All 3 played significant parts in the championship run last season. Long over there at first. A freshman from Lucerna High School. Not really a big threat to run. Has attempted 3 on the year. One for 3 in stolen base attempts as this one misses down and away. One and 1 the count to the center fielder. He had a leadoff double back in the top of the 8th. It was hit about 2 feet in front of Bouchain, who laid out to make the catch. This one misses up and in. Bouchain did a nice job of keeping that ball in front of him and trapping it under his body. If he didn't, if it got all the way to the wall, that might have been an inside the park home run for Jimmy Leanda. This one hit on the ground again to that 5-6 hole. And so it's back-to-back singles for the Santa Ana Dons here as he looks to get some insurance runs, up 7-3 here in the top of the 9th. Jake Porter struggling early on here in his outing. Tasked with getting the final 3 outs here. Game number 3 of this 3-game set. Jake Long at second. Leanda at first. That'll bring up the first baseman, Mikey Rocha. He hit a laser to third base, and Allen wasn't able to come up with it cleanly. So he reached via an error. Shows bunt, pulls it away as that breaking ball tailed outside. 1-0 the count to Rocha. Still looking for his first hit of the afternoon. 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, a run scored. Looks like Porter's going to step off. Don's got 1 run in the 2nd, 1 run in the 4th, and then 5 in the top of the 8th. He leads it now 7-3. Rocha holds up his swing there. 2-0 the count to the first baseman, who primarily played almost all of last season at shortstop. Earned second-team all-conference honors last year as well. This one, catches the outer half. A nice pitch there by Porter. Good frame there by Barajas. It's a 2-1 count. Castelli holding the runner on at second. No one holding the runner on at first. Hudson playing in on the grass. Rocha's going to show bunt. He gets it down. Only plays over to first. Porter makes a strong throw over to Castelli. And that's out number 1. Score that 1-4 as Castelli was covering. It's a sack bunt for Rocha. And that'll bring up Matthew Dobson, the 5-hitter. 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Has reached 3 times, has scored all 3 times. And all 3 times he was aboard via the base on balls. Did ground out to second in the top of the 6th inning. Here's the first pitch to him, and he fouls this one off to the right side rather sharply. It's a 0-1 count to the third baseman now. 1 out. 2 runners in scoring position for the Dons here in the top of the 9th. In the on-deck circle is Brady Schrenk, the pitcher. This one, high chopper over there. They're going to apply the tag. J.C. Allen is able to get Jake Long as it was hard hit to third base. He churned, apply the tag down on the left fielder who tried to scramble back into third. He does so unsuccessfully. Score that 5 unassisted. And so the starting pitcher that you saw in game number 1 of this series, Brady Schrenk, is listed as a utility player on the roster, but we've primarily seen him only hit this year, or excuse me, only pitch this year. He was a utility player at Foothill High School, was committed to the University of Hawaii. They pick back to second. De Anda's in there safely as Castelli was able to apply the tag. It was a bang-bang play over there, but umpire rules him safe. Schrenk does have 23 ABs on the season, has 4 hits in those 23 ABs, so Tom Nils does let his pitchers swing. Again, committed to the University of Hawaii, but bounced back here to Santa Ana College. This one misses down. 1-0 the count. Runners on first and second, 2 out here in the top of the 9th. This one misses outside. An easy take for Schrenk. 2-0 the count. Schrenk was a multi-sport athlete. He played football and also played a little bit of basketball at Foothill High School. Over in the city of Tustin. Here's the 2-0 count. This one's hit up the middle, and it's a slow hit ball, so they're going to wave the Anda to come and score from second. Going to third, and being tagged out is Matthew Dobson. Great heads-up throw and play by Tanaka, the center fielder. The run does count as the Anda scores from second. Dobson trying to be a little too aggressive and was gunned out at third. Score that 8-5 for out number 3. So it's a single for Schrenk. However, Dobson gets tagged out. The Dons do tack on 1 extra run, an insurance run here as they lead now 8-3. We head to the bottom of the 9th. The Bobcats are down to their final 3 outs. Again, thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. My name is Noah Alvarez, joined by Albert Robles. When we come back, it'll be 8-9-1. Again, thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball. It's the bottom of the 9th here at Doug Fritz Field. The Bobcats are down to their final 3 outs. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for Saddleback this half of the inning. And so that means leading things off will be right fielder Bryson Hoyer. He had a single, a leadoff single back in the bottom of the 7th in his last AB. Iglesias still on the mound for the Dons. He would be rewarded with the win if he's able to finish this out. He was able to save 5 games last year for the Dons. It's quickly now a 1-1 count to the right fielder. This one misses outside. 2-1 the count. On the afternoon, Hoyer is 1 for 3 on the day. Flew out to left back in the 4th inning, and then was hit by a pitch in the 2nd. Came around to score back in the 3rd. This one swung on and missed. Pitch maybe out of the zone, but it's a 2-2 count. So he's actually 1 for 2 on the day. Hit by a pitch, doesn't count as a AB. Did score once. Got all the way to 3rd back in the bottom of the 7th, but was held there. Again, a really nice job by Andil and the rest of the Dons bullpen to hold this Bobcats lineup scoreless after their 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. This is swung on and foul tipped into the catcher's glove, so it's a strikeout for out number 1. Bobcats now down to their final 2 outs of the game. That'll bring up the shortstop, Andrew Nikoluk. 0 for 1 on the day. He does have 2 sacrifice bunts, as that was a very generous call. 0-1 the count. Iglesias working relatively quickly. Swung on and missed. That one had some tailing action to it, as Iglesias does have a pretty nasty cutter. 0-2 the count now to the shortstop. On deck, Ben Castelli. Again, the Bobcats hoping to create some magic here in the top half of the order. As this one cuts outside a little too much. 1-2 the count. There are 2 arms warming up in the Santa Ana College bullpen in case Iglesias does run into some trouble. Does have a 5-run lead to play around with. This one, check swing, but Nikoluk is able to hold up in time. It's now a 2-2 count. Remember, the Bobcats were down 8-2 after 5 innings in Thursday's game, and they came back to win that game 9-8. This one's poked out into the right side, just a little blooper, and that's going to be a 1-out single for Nikoluk. So in a little Bermuda triangle past the second baseman Williams and right in front of Carson Case. Nothing you could do about it. Nice piece of hitting there by the shortstop. He has his first hit on the afternoon, the sophomore from Simi Valley High School. And now with the runner on first, that'll turn things over to the top of the order, just what you wanted if you're the Saddleback College coaching staff. Still, you're chasing 5 runs, so you can't get it back in one swing. But you can start a little 1-out rally, as this one, check swing, no swing, and that one misses outside. 1-0 the count to Ben Castelli. He's also looking for his first hit. Does have an RBI. It came on a sac fly back in the bottom of the 3rd. Has drawn 2 base on balls. 0 for 1 on the day. This one's hit into the 3-4 hole. And Nikoluk's going to hold up at second base. So back-to-back singles here now for Castelli and Nikoluk. And these Bobcats aren't just done yet. And that'll bring up a very dangerous part of the order. 2, 3, 4 due up next. Makani Tanaka. So Makani Tanaka still looking for his first 8 hit of the afternoon. He has a 29-game hit streak on the line. This one foul tipped, as Castrojon wasn't able to squeeze it. 29 games, that means since the very beginning of the season, has had a hit every game this season. A center fielder from Honolulu, Hawaii. 1 out. This one catches the inner half, says home plate umpire. So he's really going to have to battle to find a way to get on base. Down 0-2 now. Castelli's at first, Nikoluk at second. This one poked just past the shortstop, and it's going to fall into center field. Scoring from second is Nikoluk. Trying to advance to third, but getting thrown out is Castelli. A head-scratching decision there. Leonda did throw that one all the way home, and it had a lot of air on it. Castelli did slip as he was rounding past second. I'm not sure if we got a good view on that on the camera, but Castelli stumbled. He should have just gone back to second, still went for third, and he is thrown out. So it's now a 30-game hit streak for Tanaka. He does get an RBI single. However, there is now 2 outs in the inning. Bobcats trail 8-4 now. Score that 8-2 to 5 for out number 2. One 1-0 the count, 2 outs to J.C. Allen. Arguably the most dangerous hitter. Ooh, that one misses somewhere. It's now a 2-0 count to the third baseman. Tanaka at first, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. I'm sure Iglesias wants to finish this game out. This one hit rather weakly to Dobson. Dobson's going to charge from third base, throws this one high, applies the tag, and that's Rocha making a phenomenal play over there at first. Wow. So a really good play over there at first ends the game. The Bobcats did have a little late inning magic, however, not enough as they fall 8-4 in this series finale. They still do win the series 2-3 in this 3-game series. However, the Dons will advance to 8-4 and the Bobcats fall to 7-5. Before we go, let's go ahead and just give you some score updates from around the Orange Empire Conference. It's now tied, Golden West and Cypress College at the bottom of the 9th. That game is all tied up at 5 apiece. Fullerton defeated Orange Coast 9-2. So Golden West could be tied at the end of today with Santa Ana College for first place in the OEC. But if Cypress wins, it'll be Santa Ana all alone. Santa Ana will take on Riverside City next week, while Saddleback will take on Cypress, having 2 of their 3 here at Doug Fritz Field. Again, for Albert Robles, I'm Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in to Saddleback College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net. We'll see you next time.